Ladies and gentlemen, we are meeting for the first time, in a couple weeks, the incomparable, real Rick Glaser.
Rod Vashon Holden presents the living embodiment of the American spirit, my brother, Rick Glaser.
Guys, welcome. Happy Thursday night to all of you guys. And I tell you what, we're on borrowed time, so let's get started, guys. It is always a pleasure to introduce this gentleman, the incomparable Rick Glaser. Rick, how you doing, my friend? Woo! Can you hear me, Rick? Oh boy, we just lost Rick Glaser. I'll tell you what, he's a busy man, so maybe he is on the other line or something, but yeah, we can't hear him at all. So let's oh boy. Let's hold on. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can actually help this. Let's see if we can. Rick, give me a call or let me know if you can hear me, sir. Otherwise, we're going to have to move forward without my brother Rick. I'm assuming he's on the other line right now or something, but I'll tell you what, we've got a lot to discuss. We've got a lot to ask Rick also, because it looks like, and once again, the main event of the evening tonight is Riyadh season, Golden Boy. It's been reported by Salvador Rodriguez of ESPN Knockouts that there's going to be a Golden Boy card in Saudi Arabia. Let's see if we can hear this now. Rick, can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, it froze up. I could hear you and you couldn't hear me.
Oh, okay. Very good. Well, I tell you what, as long as that's rectified, Rick, how art thou, my friend? It's been a minute.
Good. How you doing?
Well, great that now you're here. I'll tell you what, guys. Let's save that. Let's put that at the midway mark of the show. In about 15 minutes, we get more people in chat. We'll talk about this. But let's go straight to this.
Maybe, just maybe, it's time for Rick Glaser's Twitter watch. Bing!
Oh boy, and I tell you what, this was a tweet at 4:50 a.m. on August 23rd, right? And you said this: a big difference in boxing nowadays compared to when I started. It used to be you called a manager about making a fight. He'd say yes or no to the fight on the initial phone call, mostly a yes, hence further negotiations. Today, the manager says he needs to talk to the fighter, the trainer, and he'll get back to you in a couple days. And most of the time, you get a no on the fight, including some pricing themselves out of the fight. Then you need to start the process all over again with another manager to secure a fighter. A tedious process these days. Rick, are we still trying to shake off the reek, the stench of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s influence in this business?
Yes, definitely. There's too much emphasis placed on undefeated, the big zero, which is wrong because the UFC doesn't give a shit. They just keep bringing guys back whether they win or lose, and we've got to get back to that. They did that years ago. You saw really good fighters with 15, 20, 25 losses. Look at your all-time greats. They all had 10, 15, 20, 25 all-time greats. Today, they just it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. And all the while, these guys just sitting on the bench, sitting on the shelf, waiting to get that call, and they're picking and choosing everything. And it's like, look at Juan Manuel Marquez, perfect example when he was with Top Rank. They understood he's not as big of a ticket seller, a big of attraction as Eric Morales or Marco Antonio Barrera. Right. And so they have no choice. You've got to be stuck in promotions 101. If you're not a big ticket seller, you've got to be in 50-50 fights and increase your market value that way. That's the only way that works. And he had no problem with that. And guess what? It worked. He became a big star and a legend, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
And so you get guys even at the club level these days, Rick. And they want to talk to their barber. They want to talk to their dad. They want to see YouTube footage on a 4-rounder. And they want to haggle you and try to get the most money they possibly can.
Yep.
That far exceeds their level of attraction or fair market value. And unfortunately, this isn't the healthiest time in terms of pay-per-view or people buying tickets. And we're not a mainstream attraction any longer. So it's almost like the fans and the fighters, they're not willing to budge at this time. And do you see that changing? And do you think Turki Al-Sheikh's involvement is going to rectify all of this?
I just told a guy, a big time, I would say investor. Okay. He's not a boxing guy. He's an investor. He says, what today would help boxing the most? I says, a one-way ticket to the Hall of Fame is find out how to stop, through technology, how to stop people from stealing the pay-per-view through technology.
Yep. And
if somebody could develop technology or stop it, there's a one-way ticket to the Hall of Fame even if they never went to a boxing match in their life.
Yep.
There's your answer.
And there it is. And look, guys, these are on pay-per-view out of necessity. Now, once again, if these fighters, and once again, everyone in this business, correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but everyone in this business wants these fighters to get maximum dollar on their earning value. No one's trying to rip off any of these fighters. But they need to understand what their fair market value is.
Half of them don't.
And well, the overwhelming majority don't.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem. So now you get fights that are on pay-per-view out of necessity because, let's just face it, do you remember back in the day, we got Calzaghe versus Lacey on regular subscriber Showtime. Unification at 68.
I know.
And then we got
Bernard Hopkins with Calzaghe on regular Showtime. Was it a Showtime or HBO? But it was regular TVs, my regular subscription TV. We got big matches back then. I think Kelly Pavlik and Bernard Hopkins was on regular HBO.
And look, and once again, going back to Calzaghe, that unification in front of over 30,000 people in Cardiff, Wales. Calzaghe versus Kessler unification at 168 on regular subscriber HBO.
How many people were you there? Did you say
there were over 30,000?
There was 55,000 there.
Oh shoot, 55,000. You know what? And I was covering that event, brother. So I was on press row, and so it was. I know they cut it in half, right? It was at a soccer stadium. Yeah, it was at the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff, Wales. Yeah.
Right. They
And
the place seats. What was told, the place seats 100,000,
yep,
and there was 50,000 in the grandstand. They cut it in half, and then
yep.
5,000 on the floor. 5,000 on the floor.
Yeah, I know they cut it in half. Yeah, but you know what? That's what I'm saying. That was on regular subscriber HBO.
Yep.
And so you're getting now Shakur Stevenson versus Joe Cordina on pay-per-view out of necessity because, oh my gosh, 5 million rock to Shakur Stevenson for Joe Cordina, Rick?
I wrote about it. Put a tweet up about it.
Uh-oh. Let's check it out. Let me find it. Yeah. Oh, Chingao.
It was in the last 48 hours I put it up.
Yeah, let me look for it, man. Let me look for it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Hey, guys, this was on August 28th at 3:44 p.m. Great for Shakur. But anyone that would pay Shakur $5 million to fight a Joe Cordina type should let someone else negotiate for them. Effing ridiculous. Hashtag boxing. That's the problem, guys. That's the problem, where it's gotten to the point where it's too expensive to not attach the pay-per-view revenue stream to it. And so that's a big problem. That's a big problem. So you're obscuring this. You're obscuring this behind a pay-per-view paywall. And you're keeping the masses from seeing these events.
Yeah, the fighters are overpaid. I've said it for long. The top fighters are overpaid. The bottom fighters are underpaid.
Yeah, it's almost like because of, and you know what? All the while we're making Dana White look like a genius. Oh boy. I tell you what. So rather than poo-pooing on our beloved boxing, let's go to the main event topic at hand. And Rick, we want to get your this Golden Boy Promotions and Riyadh season in November. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. In the main event of the evening, Zurdo Ramirez versus Chris William Smith.
Everything's unofficial right now. There's nothing official about it. Everybody jumped the gun.
But this card is really nice. And Jose Ramirez versus Arnold Barboza. Williams Zepeda versus George Kambosos. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Let me explain. It is 3 main events, okay, that would main event 3 different DAZN shows. And it'll be 3 undercard fights, that would be normally co-features. So you've got those fights listed, and they're making other fights that would be co-features, and that's basically what it is. It'd be a huge card, yes, and it's 3 DAZN cards in the one big show.
Yeah,
okay.
This is an excellent card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, this is a great card for hardcores, but none of these guys are big ticket sellers. And I'm afraid that if this is on pay-per-view, no one's going to see it. Oscar Duarte versus Anthony Sims Jr. or Kenneth Sims Jr.
Kenneth Sims, not Anthony. That was somebody put up a mistake.
Yeah, Kenneth Sims Jr. Bektamir Melikuziev versus Lester Martinez. These are all great matchups, but none of these guys are big ticket sellers. And I can understand, just like the old days, these are all put on one card. But if this is on pay-per-view, how many people are going to see it, Rick?
Well, almost 200,000 saw Crawford. So, it's got a lot of Hispanic interest, a lot of Mexican Americans on the show. And I think it's definitely going to have some definite good entertainment value. I believe that.
Yep, because the matchups are great on paper, and I don't see how they don't play out that way in the ring. These are all like Ramirez versus Barboza. Dude, that's the peanut butter and jelly. That's the irresistible force versus the immovable object. And Zurdo Ramirez versus Smith, that's a great fight.
Yeah, it's a unification bout. The other guy's WBO champ and Zordo's full WBA champ. So this is big shit.
Yep, this is a great card, guys, in
Mhm.
terms of entertainment value. So,
Yep.
guys, so what we're asking is do your part, be the ambassadors, sell this event as well. Get involved, guys. We need you just as much as we need these fighters. Okay,
Mhm.
that's what we're saying. And look, all I can say is thank God for Riyadh season. Because look at this. Look at the way
Well,
we're going to
not
be ending
really,
this
not
year.
not really, because all those three main fights would all been made on the zone just on three separate shows. So that's not really true in this case.
Well, all I can say is this. We're getting, and I'm looking at the end of the year.
Basically speaking, let me just say something. Basically speaking, it would have been one show in late October, one show in November, and one show in December if they did it in three separate shows, just to let you know. So they're just combining three great shows into one mega show, is what they're doing.
Very good. And look, if you're complaining about Edgar Berlanga versus Canelo Alvarez, please don't complain about this. Because Rick stated on this tweet August 26th at 11:55 p.m. Embarrassing undercard, even by PBC's very low standards. Deplorable. Hashtag Canelo, hashtag Amazon Prime, hashtag boxing. And he's referring to at Canelo Edgar Berlanga on September 14th in the co-main event, Erislandy Lara versus Danny Swift Garcia. Caleb Plant versus Trevor McCumbee. And oh my gosh. Is that Rolly Romero versus who? I don't even know who he's fighting, Rick.
What's the guy's name?
Jaimes?
Oh yeah, he's a local kid from California.
Oh, okay.
Never fought out of his county. He can't make this shit up.
And so he's on pay-per-view. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense, Rick.
You got guys like Lara and Garcia haven't fought in years, like a couple years.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, look, I can understand why he was from a business perspective because Don Chargan always taught me, and you know, Tom Brown subscribes to the same ideology. In case Edgar Berlanga falls off or gets injured during camp, you can always interject Erislandy Lara and have the long-awaited rematch. The rematch should have happened a long time ago between Canelo Alvarez and Erislandy Lara, even though Lara is what, 60?
Lara's about 41 or 42, I believe.
I know. I'm just yeah. Well, look, but you can sell that to the hardcore fans, right? You could sell that to the diehard fan or to the casual fans as well, because that was a very controversial verdict. So that's the reason why that's in the main event, or in the co-main event rather. But Plant McCumbee is a very good comeback fight for Caleb Plant, and that's no gimme. And that's you're gonna see him go some rounds, and but not on a pay-per-view. And then Rolly Romero versus enter name here. Yeah, boy. And how much are they charging? $80?
$89.95.
Oh, $90.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Guys, so once again, thank God for Riyadh season. And I'm going to say this. You've got in September, Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dynamite Dubois. And then you've got this fantastic Golden Boy card. And then you've got, look, I've got some bones to pick with this one, but the main event is going to be on regular subscriber ESPN Plus and ESPN. And that's the big time light heavyweight showdown for undisputed between Arthur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. And then we've got the undisputed part 2 in the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. So we're ending this year in a bang, with a bang from Riyadh season. But let's focus our attention to this. And this is something I'm scratching my head with. Oh boy, here it goes. Rick,
Yep.
you said this tweet on August 29th, earlier today at 6:20 a.m. Eddie Hearn talking Devin Haney versus Liam Perro in Australia in December. I can't see Devin's father manager, Bill Haney, signing off on that after the beatdown Devin got from Ryan Garcia. Common boxing sense is you don't go into a rough fight after a rough fight, especially one that is on the outside of the world. End quote and end tweet. And you know what? Rick, expound on that, because when you look at this, Liam Perro's the title holder. He's the breadwinner. This is why this fight is taking place in Australia, because Devin Haney's stock plummeted. Now, he wasn't a huge ticket seller before the Ryan Garcia event, but after, yeah. This is why only Top Rank wanted to bid on that purse bid with Sandor Martin, right?
Yep.
So what is the probability and likelihood of this fight happening? And how much do you think Bill and Devin Haney are going to demand as the B-side in a quote-unquote stranger in a strange land?
Well, they turned down, what, $1.7 million to go fight Sandor Martin, who's less of a fighter than Perro. So that's
And
all
he
you need
was-
to know.
And he was the A-side, and he was the title holder. Now, being the challenger, oh boy. And once again, this is for the IBF title, right?
Yep. So there's a 2-day weigh-in.
That's it. 2-day weigh-in. So you've got to maintain that 10-pound threshold the day of the fight.
No,
Rick?
no. You have to maintain it from the time of the weigh-in until the morning of the fight when they re-weigh it. Then you can go wild after that.
That's what I'm saying, the day of the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So
Yeah.
what? So I understand why you tweeted that. So where does Devin Haney realistically go from here?
I don't know.
Like honestly, and well, you don't know, but do you care?
I do. I feel sorry for Devin and Bill in a way. Not that they don't have money and they're broke, because they're not. They're wealthy people. Don't get me wrong, but you can still feel sorry for someone in the sense they're out in the middle of nowhere, and they got nowhere to go. In reality,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, the only gold at the end of this rainbow, the Devin Haney rainbow, is a rematch with Ryan Garcia. And
Yep.
we're not even halfway there yet.
That's what I'll tell you what I would do if I had the kid. I would go to a place like BLK Prime, do a show at a small casino in California, close to home. Okay? Do it on BLK Prime. Even if you fight for free, get a win, get the dust off, fight a guy that can't punch, fight a guy, that you're going to beat, and get the run, and just stay active, stay in the gym, stay active, and keep your weight down, and wait for Devin Haney next April. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Wait for Ryan Garcia next April. That's what I would do, because anything else is crazy, unless he doesn't want to fight him in a rematch. I don't know about that, because who knows what that's going to be.
Oh boy. Well, look, the hole that Devin Haney is in right now, right? The perception hole, I should say. And let's make this clear, guys. This is the entertainment industry, right? Boxing is very real inside the ring, but this is the entertainment field, right? And in any entertainment platform, in any entertainment field, perception quickly becomes reality. And right now, perception dictates that Haney is damaged goods. He doesn't have a great chin. He doesn't pack a wallop. And yeah, he seems mentally fragile. after that beatdown in April.
And it was a beatdown.
Oh boy. Yeah, it was. Oh boy. Yeah, so let's go to our dear friends in the chat, guys. And once again, we want to thank Rick for being here until the 11 o'clock mark in Eastern time. Now, I don't know what this has to do with anything, but Rick, would you like to chime in on this? King Sakuna, thank you for supporting Rick on this day. He says Canelo is going to fold Crawford. Does that have anything to do with anything that we're talking about, sir?
No, but I appreciate the guy jumping in. People are excited about Crawford, the possibility of Crawford and Canelo, and I believe that Crawford wouldn't take this fight if he didn't think he could win.
So let me ask you this.
He doesn't put it this way, kid. Crawford lived very humbly, very meagerly, and he's got a lot of money, and he wouldn't take this fight just for the money.
Yep, you're right about that. He is brimming with confidence. Obviously, you've seen his tweets. He knows that he is the baddest dude on the planet, pound for pound. Right? Yep. He knows this. He knows this. So he likes his chances against King Kong and Godzilla together.
Yep.
and so that, and we love that. We love that from our fighters. We love that. That is Marvin Hagler mentality, right? We love that stuff. But Rick, it was just reported that the WBO is trying to mandate once again Crawford versus Sivas Fundora. What is the likelihood of that fight being made, sir?
I think very little, because Fundora's got the BC belt, and he'll go. If Spence fights, going to fight Spence. If not, he'll get Thurman out of mothballs, something like that.
Well, look, let's just go to Canelo's latest reports, right? And it was reported he's saying, well, look, I am interested in the Crawford fight now, because he understands that his limitations at 68, right? So now he's had a change of heart. Canelo is actually interested in Crawford now at 68 out of necessity. And he understands that captures the imagination of a larger casual and mainstream demographic. And they said, well, wait a minute. The WBO just mandated Crawford Fundora. And he goes, oh, man, those things don't mean anything.
Well, that doesn't mean anything, because Crawford could fight him in December or January, and then come back and fight next May against Canelo. So that doesn't mean shit.
Well, if the money's there. So with Crawford, how much did he make in this last event at Riyadh season at the BMO
lot
or stadium?
A lot.
Mm-hmm. What is the likelihood of him getting paid that kind of money from PBC or anybody against Sivas Fundora?
Turkey will promote that, so it doesn't matter.
Really? You think that's going to be a Riyadh season event?
It would have to be. Remember something. Under the WBO rules, they go by the last three purses of each fighter. Fundora didn't make shit in his last three fights, and the other guy... Right. You get it.
So you're talking about a 90-10 split.
No, 80-20.
If this goes to purse bid. Well, that's being mighty generous of you, Rick. But let's move on, guys. We want to say hello to our dear friend Jesus M. Thank you for supporting Big Rick on this day. He says, Rick, Kambosos versus Zepeda makes no sense.
Yes, it does.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
He's a big name. You're fighting overseas. He's from Australia, and it'll draw in Australia on pay-per-view. So absolutely, it makes sense.
And he's a former undisputed champion, guys. And once again, just like earning a college degree, regardless of the circumstances, you cannot take that away from George Kambosos Jr. He took that distinction from Teofimo Lopez in his home area of New York City.
Yep.
Right? So there it is, guys. There it is. And so, Bruce, Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. We want to welcome you to the show. Thank you for supporting Rick on this thing. Guys, if you haven't already done this, please go subscribe to my brother Bruce. Always a great guy, great boxing historian. Low clarity. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Thank you for supporting Rick on this day. And Jesus M says, Rick, has it been confirmed that PBC is losing money with fake Nello? Look, Rick, can you say this is, without a doubt, the Last Chance Saloon? And can you see them making money on this event?
Well, with an undercard like that, and paying Canelo all that money and Belenga all that money, I don't see how. But we'll see.
Oh boy. Yeah, look, this. Oh gosh. And look, it's been as of late, there have been a lot of fans who have been teetering on the Edgar Berlanga bandwagon, saying, well, you know what? I have this feeling that he's going to do a lot better than, he's going to be a lot more competitive and a lot more game than what is being talked about right now.
I agree.
Can you explain, please?
I'm not saying he's going to win the fight because he's not, but
Yeah.
he's not going to get blown out at 1 or 2 rounds.
No, who is his trainer right now? Is he back with Andre?
No, he's with that other guy, Mark something.
Oh boy. Look, Rick. Look, I don't like to cast aspersions on this show or any show, but Edgar is about as sharp as a marble. If he jumps on Canelo Alvarez from the go, from the opening bell, what's going to be the result of this fight?
He'll get knocked out in 4 or 5 rounds. If he boxes early on, lands a good jab, he'll get up to 8, 9 rounds out of it.
Yeah. Foregone conclusion, guys. Foregone conclusion. But look, if he jumps on him, you're going to see James Kirkland Part 2. And I stand by that. Brother Solodolo, welcome to the show, sir. And thank you for supporting Big Rick on this day. Also, Jesus M says they will milk Haney versus Paro to make Haney versus Paro 2 make more money in Australia. I don't know about that. I don't even know if this fight gets made. Look, and Jesus M also says PBC Al Heyman no longer interested in fake Nello after Bumlanga. Tell us how you really feel, brother. Yeah. Rick, I tell you what, let's oh boy. Let's go to this recent anomaly, right? Or this recent epiphany, I should say. Oh boy. What is the logic behind putting Shakur versus Joe Cordina as the main event of the pay-per-view portion of this event, and then having the big one for free on ESPN? How do you see that pairing in the American market?
The fact that you questioned it is a great reason why you questioned it.
Yeah. Well, look, and
they're all watching the show. They're all watching the show for Herbie Evan Bivol. Nobody's watching the show for Shakur.
Yep, and look, and there's a saying in this business: if you're asking the question, you already know the answer. Mini Meal, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting Big Rick on this day. He says, "Hey, Rick, who's paying for Coward Canelo's fight and card?" Well, it's definitely not the diehards, that's for sure. Rick, your thoughts, and how do you project? Let's get your official projection of how this pay-per-view does on September 14th, Mexican Independence Day weekend.
The lowest pay-per-view that he's done as a big name main event fighter since he went to middleweight.
Oh boy, can you stick? Now, honestly, I'm projecting numbers like Canelo versus Liam Smith. Would you agree, sir?
No. Because it's got Puerto Rican flavor.
Okay, so you think it's going to do over 300,000?
A little over, yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh boy, oh boy. You think it's going to eclipse the John Ryder Gorilla event?
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Nope.
Oh boy, oh boy. And so is this? Are you projecting?
Remember, Ryder had come off 2 huge wins over Zach Parker and Eliminator and Danny Jacobs. You got to remember that. That was big. The build up to that fight.
You know what? That is true. So are you projecting? Are you projecting the official coup de grace for PBC?
No, because they keep finding new suckers and invest money and and stuff like that. So no, but it's not going to help. Yeah, they're going down that slippery path of downhill, and they're basically out of business now. Their demise is upon us, and they're just petering along. You remember, this is a company that did 30 to 40 shows a year since they were in business. Now they're down to fucking maybe 6 shows this year.
Well,
They're basically out of business. They're in business, but they're out of business. They're not a player. They're not a big player anymore.
Well, look, without Vasily Lomachenko and ESPN at the table, what do we see from Gervonta Davis this year? Because, after Frank Martin,
he'll end up fighting Ryo.
Really, at 140 pounds? That's what you're hearing?
I don't know about 35 or 40. I don't know. Maybe they'll have Ryo suck down to 35, so he keeps his title at 40, something like that, some kind of bullshit like that.
So you can see that happening. Is that what you're hearing right now?
No, but that's what I think is going to happen.
Oh boy, because you know what? I don't hear anything regarding Gervonta Davis at this time.
Like I said,
I'm not hearing any rumblings at all, Rick.
Right. I'm not hearing anything either. There's just an opinion that I have that they'll go for Ryo. They got Ryo, and they'll use that to their advantage.
To be honest, I would love to see Ryo versus Teofimo Lopez. And what's going on with Teofimo Lopez, brother?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Well, look, I can't dig back that far into that tweet, but from what you've heard, as Top Rank, have they officially had enough with Teofimo Lopez?
No. No, not at all. Mm-mm.
Oh boy.
What's going
on? What's going on there, Rick?
Nothing negative. Just it's just a matter of what date he's going to fight. Whether it's December, January, I don't know.
He recently turned down a deal because it was on a Friday night.
He denied that, but everybody I talked to said it was true. He denied it on Twitter. He went on, "That's not true, sir." About it, bullshit. And I said, "Okay, that's what everybody's. Everybody can't be wrong. There's truth in quantity."
Yeah.
Well, and I say everybody, boxing insiders.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh boy, Chingao. Well, look, all I can tell you is right now we had a very successful event in San Antonio, Texas, this past Saturday. Over 3,500 paying customers in 12 bouts. Very successful evening. And our next one is on November 23rd, the Friday or the Saturday after the Mike Tyson event. Are we still going to see Tyson versus Jake Paul on November 15th?
I don't know. That's a mystery. I don't know. It's not, to me, that I don't pay attention to that shit because it's not boxing. It's just exhibition bullshit. Con for money and stuff like that. It's not something I get involved with, and I don't even care. I don't watch, and it's a joke. The only time I watch something like that is if I'm invited over to somebody's house and it's how he says, "I got pizza and wings." And I say, "I'll come over and watch the fight. You got pizza and wings." If you didn't have pizza and wings, I wouldn't be going.
Oh, I tell you what, dude, this is a dagger in my heart, man, right here. And I'm just gonna say this because I'm a huge baseball fan, just as you are, right? Well, look. Let me bypass that. Now you brought something to my attention, and this is the difference
That's
in
good.
the oh, oh, boo, oh, Ching Gao. How dare you, sir?
I got you now. Did I know?
Oh, dude, right in the heart, brother. But look, you brought this to my attention, and you stated, look, the difference is Anthony Joshua could walk anywhere in any street in London and get mobbed instantly.
Right.
How many American fighters can you say that about?
Not too many.
No.
No. Maybe Bam in San Antonio.
And even then,
Yeah.
look, even
Yep.
then, excuse me,
Yep.
he should be a much bigger attraction than he is.
Yep.
Look,
Joe, it's getting to be almost 11. We've got 4 minutes.
Yeah.
One more question.
Okay, very good. Oh geez. Low Clarity says this. I always try to talk to people about boxing, and they all bring up Tyson versus Paul. Rick, so the question is, and thank you, Low Clarity. So the question is, like it or not, will this have an impact on the future of boxing?
No,
This event.
but it's not boxing. It's ridiculous. Anybody that any brains knows that's not boxing. Problem is we have a lot of dummies in America. The ones that are voting for Kamala Harris will probably watch that.
Oh, Chingao, Kamala Harris. Look, I'm a huge wrestling fan, so I always refer to her as because I know everyone in rather than referring to or pronouncing her name Kamala Harris, they pronounce it Kamala. And in my book, that's the Ugandan giant, Kamala. Right?
Okay.
The headbutt king. But look, Chingao. So to sum things up, it's likely that this fight is indeed going to happen Riyadh season, November. Golden Boy Promotions and Turkey Yellow Sheik, Zurdo Ramirez, Chris Billiam Smith, Jose Ramirez, Arnold Barbosa, William Zepeda, George Cambosos, Oscar Duarte versus Kenneth Sims Jr., and Beck the Bully versus Lester Martinez.
You got it. But let's see what happens. I didn't announce it. It's all over the place that they're working on it. That's all. It's not a fact. It's far from facts. Right as
Very
of
good.
today.
Very
Okay,
good, guys.
I'll see you next week. Okay.
Rick, thank you for being here, my friend. We appreciate it, brother. God bless you, my brother.
Yep.
And guys, that was Nick Glaser. I tell you what, guys. Well, I'm feeling very saucy right now, and I see my brother from another mother, Adam Lopez, in the queue. So I'm going to drop the link. Adam, if you're available, please click the link, man. And make sure you have those Modelos or Miller Lights on tap, brother. It's been a minute. We can talk about this card that you were at, and once again, you've been doing a great job with contender Guillermo Gutierrez. Guys, I saw Adam Lopez this past Saturday, and you can see the maturity. You can see the growth in this kid. And once again, that's heavily attributed to Adam Lopez. He's doing a great job with this kid. And honestly, I can see him becoming a champion over within the next few years. He looked tremendous. Kamila? Oh, Chingao. And yeah, Adam has the beat. Bam doesn't get mobbed. I see him at the Pearl all the time. Yeah, dude. Yeah, me too. And yeah, he doesn't get mobbed. It's shocking. And Low Clarity, it says, I think it's dangerous for a guy that old to box, even if he once was a monster. Yeah, guys, this has catastrophe written all over it. Think about how bad this is going to be. Think about how bad this is going to be for the perception of our beloved boxing. If Jake Paul just does a paint job on Mike Tyson and over the hill. Now, keep in mind, the guy who lost got stopped by Danny Williams, right? And yeah, look, Larry, that's kind of a shocker because Bam is incredible. You know, once again, he's a top 5 pound for pound guy, and that's undeniable. That's irrefutable. But that's a product of promotion, brother. And once again, we have a lot to talk about, guys. It's rumored that Boots Ennis is going to be fighting in a unification bout against Norman Jr. Oh boy. And according to his father and his head trainer, the deal's almost done. Oh boy. And I told you guys a long time ago that was the only fight that was going to be available to Eddie Hearn and Boots Ennis, because the other two guys, Emana Staniones, as well as Mario Vargas, they do not, they currently work with PBC, and they don't, Al Heyman does not have a good working relationship with Eddie Hearn at this time. And so where does he go from here? I know he's pining for that fight with Terrence Crawford. But is that possible? Guys, put your thinking caps on, because we're about to go deep. Now, once again, I know all of these guys are starting to sign with Eddie Hearn, thinking that he's a miracle man. Hey, earn with Hearn, right? Yeah, you can earn money. And you can't fault the fighter. If Eddie Hearn is willing to dig deep in someone else's pocketbook and pay you out of their money, not his, maximum amount of dollars, inflated purses, and if you're a fighter, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Right? Why wouldn't you do it? So you can't fault the fighters. But why on earth did Boots Ennis sign with Eddie Hearn, seeing that he doesn't have anyone at 47? Right? Okay. Lance Meyer, thank you for sticking with us, my friend. And once again, you're right. Knowledge is absolute, right? Knowledge is absolute. The truth is absolute. But your level of knowledge is relative. Absolutely. And that's a problem. Guys, you just saw Shakur Stevenson now sign a deal with Eddie Hearn, and he's promising him the world. Well, we've got Joe Cordina first, and then we're going to get him William Zepeda, and then we're going to give him a big fight with Gervonta Davis. What is the likelihood of that happening, guys? Like, really, what is the likelihood of that happening? I'll wait. And once again, anyone who has anything to say about it, I'm going to drop the link. Tell me how Eddie Hearn is going to be that vehicle to take Shakur Stevenson to the land of milk and honey, where Top Rank couldn't. And if they started paying Shakur Stevenson $5 million rock to fight Joe Cordina in a pay-per-view that's doomed for failure in the American market, I don't see. Now, think about this, guys. This is the problem. This is the big problem with this. So if he's earning $5 million to face a guy like Joe Cordina, if he's facing $5 million Rock to fight a guy like Joe Cordina, how much do you think he's going to expect and ask for when he's faced with a real challenge like William Zepeda? So what's the likelihood of that fight actually happening? Does he think he's a big enough attraction where he deserves an 80-20 split? He wants Zepeda to make peanuts? Shakur, outside of New Jersey, what's his level of attraction? And now he's getting paid inflated purses from Riyadh season, from Turkey Al-Sheikh and Eddie Hearn. Once again, guys, understand the business of this. This is no skin off of Eddie Hearn's teeth. Do you really think he's using his own money to pay? And look at Devin Haney. Oh, well, we're trying to put Devin Haney versus Liam Perro in Australia. Now, Haney is used to making over $5 million or around that area. Hence the reason why he walked out of 1.7 million and scoffed at that. When proposed to fighting Sandor Martin, right? So how much is he going to expect? How much is he asking for to face Liam Perro in Australia? Keep in mind, he had the title with Sandor Martin, right? He had the title. He was the champ. He was going to get the lion's share of the purse, which was going to be 1.7 million. How much is he going to expect, and how much should he expect from facing Liam Perro, who's the title holder, the current IBF junior welterweight champion, in his home country, where he's not the A side? Devin A, I know he's been there before twice, but he's never been the A side there. And now he doesn't have a title. He's not the champion. How much is he going to be requesting? The likelihood of that fight happening is slim to none. Devin Haney, I can guarantee you this. Unless he's paid by Turkey Al-Sheikh, is not going to be competing until the rematch with Ryan, April of next year. That's guaranteed. So do you think he's going to be fine getting paid maybe $2 million most fighting Liam Perro in Australia? With Liam Perro making probably over $5 million Rock for being the A side and the champion? You think Bill and Devin Haney are going to be fine with that? Hey, and when's the last time we've seen one of Devin Haney and Bill Haney's terrible videos? When's the last time we've seen one of those? Yeah, that's a result of this humble pie that's being served to him at this time. Devin Haney's career is in the toilet, guys. Honestly, his stock is at an all-time low. And once again, Gervonta Davis's isn't any higher. His pay-per-view tanked, even with David Benavidez on the card. So with ESPN money and Vasyl Lomachenko off the table, who's he going to fight? Who's he going to fight? Who's he going to fight? Yeah, big question. So anyway, guys, look, this is, oh boy, this is tough. Honestly, it's not looking good for the American market. When you look at the card for Dmitry Bivol versus Arthur Beterbiev, and once again, guys, we had Iceman John Scully slated once again. And he called me up and said, hey, look, you know what? I'm in this camp. It's not a good idea. After telling me, yeah, I'll be on your show. So then he says, well, you know what? I'm in the middle of a camp with Arthur Beterbiev. I don't think it's a good idea that I talk to any media. Right? And Low Clarity has a beat. Yeah. Yeah. You can hear that, right? And I make no bones about it. You know, it's funny, and I'll bring up this story. Jack Buck, the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals for the longest time. All right. Some kids actually asked him, hey, Jack, Mr. Buck, what do I have to do to become a world-class commentator like you are? The voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. What should I do? What steps should I take? And Jack Buck in his Jack Buck voice, you know, father of Joe Buck, legendary announcer, said this: start smoking now, kid. And look, it's one of the worst habits and one of the worst decisions I ever made, because it's a terribly unhealthy and nasty habit. But it brings a certain amount of resonance to your voice that cuts through. And this is why I get commentary gigs. And this is why a lot of people hire me to do voice work, because of that. Not just a natural timbre, but yeah, I smoke like a chimney. And I wish I didn't. But it is what it is. What's, Lance Meyer says, what's Liam's walk-around weight? Obviously, it's not beyond the realm of competition at 140 pounds. He's the IBF champ. In his last fight against Subriel Matias, he had to weigh in under the 10-pound limit of 150 the day of the weigh-in. So obviously he stays in shape. Obviously, you look at the fight that he fought, that winning effort against a beast, a boogeyman like Subriel Matias. And yeah, he stays in shape all year round. Devin Haney, I guarantee you right now, he's walking around about 200 pounds, 180 maybe at the lightest. More worried about what kind of jewelry he's wearing. Guys, I don't see anything positive on the horizon for Devin Haney. So the fact that fans are trying to bring him up, trying to resurrect his career, oh, great things are on the horizon, I don't see it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Once again, I'll drop the link, guys, in case anyone's interested. But understand this: you're going to get a healthy dose of reality if you do. But guys, once again, we want to thank Rick Glaser for being on the show this evening. And look, guys, I'll be honest. Rick works with Golden Boy, right? I have a very good relationship with Golden Boy. But I'll tell you this. Looking at this card for November, Zurdo Ramirez versus Chris William Smith. 2 non-ticket sellers. Jose Ramirez versus Arnold Barbosa out of Fresno. Jose Ramirez. Outside of Fresno, 2 non-ticket sellers. William Zepeda versus George Cambosos in the American market, 2 non-ticket sellers. Oscar Duarte versus Kenneth Sims Jr., 2 non-ticket sellers. Beck the Bully versus Lester Martinez in the American market, 2 non-ticket sellers. 2 non-ticket sellers. Now, once again, this is a card littered with non-ticket selling attractions. How do you think this pay-per-view is going to do? Guys, this is a business. No one can be expected to pay out this kind of guaranteed purse amount collectively and not make money. And on pay-per-view, this is going to be a colossal failure. Zurdo Ramirez, even among diehards, is there anyone talking about Zurdo Ramirez at cruiserweight? Oh, but he's a title holder. Who cares? And guys, at this time, it is a pleasure to always welcome this gentleman, my brother, Adam Montequilla Lopez. Adam, it's been a minute. How you doing, my friend?
What's going on, guys?
I tell you what, man. Dude, you've done a great job with Guillermo. Like, honestly, I can see the maturity. And that's I'm attributing all of that with your work with him in the gym. Because, look, I've called probably about 6 of Guillermo's fights.
Yeah, almost his entire career.
Almost his entire career.
Half of it,
right?
50%.
And I was really, really impressed. There was nothing this kid could have done to shift the momentum in his favor. You have Guillermo looking like a well-oiled machine, my friend. And I tell you what, yeah, I was very impressed. And I was very impressed with everyone's efforts on that card, except for Robert Tapias. From a fan perspective, I love Robert, and he's a dear friend of mine. But I will say this. Why on earth would you get one of your biggest ticket sellers at the 4-round level in his second pro fight beaten in front of his adoring fans? And I'm talking about El Cuate, right? Paul Hernandez from Uvalde. Adam, why would you get a big ticket seller like that beat in his second pro fight? Beaten. Like, think about this. Would the fight card have been perceived to be any lesser of an event if you had put him in there with someone who he knocked out in the second round? Adam, are you still there, brother? I can't hear you. Can you hear me, sir? Okay, well, it looks like Adam is experiencing some technical difficulties. So I'm going to let's see if he can get back in. Look. I could have told you that this was going to happen, right? Thoughts on Brian Norman turning down $1.5 million to fight Boots? Yes, because Boots, and I told you guys this was going to be a problem. How much did Boots Ennis make in his last fight against Kardashian? Right? David Avanesian. Welcome, Adam.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you now, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, now the thing about it with Paul Hernandez was I think they underestimated Brandon. I mean, Brandon's an MMA guy, Brandon's a wrestler.
Yeah, but he's always looked great though.
Brandon does have a loss. I think
I called his last fight. Adam, are you still there, sir? Oh my goodness, what's going on, Holmes? I
Yeah.
can't hear you. Okay,
Oh,
there
me
you
too.
are.
Okay.
Okay, there you are.
I have no idea what's going on with this. But anyways, no, I think it's miscalculation on
Robert Smart?
yeah, because I mean Brandon has a loss. He's pretty decent for he knows how to fight. He's an MMA
Yep.
guy and he knows how to fight. And I kind of take it when I'm watching that fight and I watch Brandon and I see him.
Uh-oh. You disappeared again, brother.
I have no idea what's going on. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep. I tell you what. I can say this. My internet surprisingly is better than yours in this night.
I don't know. I'm trying to get closer to the router.
No. That's all right. You're good, man. You're good. But
Okay.
look, it was good to see you on Saturday, brother. And I wish you had more time to devote to the commentary because we needed you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was having fun. I was on.
Dude, how could you not have fun at that card? Look, I will say this. Robert Tapia subscribes to the ideology. And once again, he's our matchmaker. He's one of the best matchmakers in the world, guys. And the hardest part of matchmaking is not look, anyone can look at a good matchup. Styles make fights. And every hardcore fan knows this.
Yes.
But the hardest part of matchmaking that no one realizes, unless you're in this business, how on earth do you convince those guys to take these challenges for that amount of money at the 4, 6, and 8 round levels?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, you don't
see, that's the hardest part.
Yes.
And for some reason, somehow, Robert Tapia, he's able to get it done. And from a fan's perspective, dude, how many great fights did we see on Saturday night?
That was 11 fights. And the one thing about that card that I really appreciated was it was loaded with banger fights. Every top prospect or every like guy that had
they were
some
in a dog fight
was on
like,
the card.
dude, Gordo was, and that's why I was telling him, I'm like, look, you put him in with a kid, Manuel Lerma from Mexico.
Yeah.
Who outboxed his ass.
I didn't watch that. The screen wasn't working then. But that's what everybody did.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you. That was and I understand what he was thinking. Okay, look, the judges are gonna favor the harder, more aggressive-minded fighter, the harder puncher, and the more aggressive-minded fighter. But there was a problem with that equation. Joe Calvi wasn't judging that night. Did I say that about Mother's Window Tint?
Yeah,
Did I just say that?
Yeah.
But look, I identified that like 10 years ago. I said, Joe, you've got a hole in your scoring. You've got to go rework this, or you're not going to get the big assignments. And what did he choose to do? Rather than taking my experience to heart, he chose to try and insult me on social media. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, Santa Claus? I already know this to be true. This is for your benefit.
Yeah.
Dude, why do so many people have a hard time taking constructive criticism when it's coming from a place of true love, right? Because you know me, man. I may sound abrasive, but dude, I've got everyone's best interest at heart. And you know this to be true.
Yes.
And so why would they receive it that way?
I mean, people see people are stuck in their ways and people can't adapt to seeing a different view. I mean, there's different types of scoring. I mean, Guillermo's going to Washington D.C. in October for a fight, and
who's the promoter?
I have no idea, but they judge boxing completely different out there. They embrace the boxing aspect.
Yep.
And so
they favor the boxer puncher. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good matchup. He's going against a guy 8-2. Southpaw. I've seen him. I think Guillermo has it. I think he has it in the bag if he does everything correctly.
Look, Guillermo, what really impressed me about this was his, oh my gosh, creative combination punching to the body, head, body, and his footwork. Dude, he didn't take hardly any incoming. And he fought a guy who was a veteran, a guy with much more professional experience. And Guillermo just shredded this guy and pitched a virtual shutout.
Yeah, from the opening
to the point.
bell.
Yep, from the opening bell on, and it was impressive.
Yes.
So as long as he continues to do that, and just give me the date, man, I'll be there.
DC. We're going to DC.
What's the date? Do you know the date?
I have no idea. October. I want to say October 17th, but I'm probably wrong.
Well, I'll be there because that's where my brother J.R. Bell resides, out of the DC area.
Nice.
And so yeah, I'll fly out there, man. I'll be in you guys' corner.
Sick.
That's gonna be. No, it's not Guillermo Rendia. It's Guillermo Gutierrez. Double G.
Double G.
There it is. Yeah, he is a future world champion at 115 pounds. Bad dude. Look, and don't be talking about Bam Rodriguez versus Guillermo Gutierrez anytime soon. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, surprisingly, they have never sparred. And
really,
I've kind
you kind of like it that way, don't you?
Why? No, not really. I really don't, because I've sparred Bam, and I found out Bam is who he is, and
yep, he is exactly who everyone says he is.
I thought he wasn't. When I first saw Bam, you'd see him and you go, he's doing this against like 16-year-olds. Come on, dude. And then like you get in there and you just see he is masterful. He is like he is the Mexican Lomachenko. And you kind of see his style is kind of carved out. You see a lot of aspects of Lomachenko in his style. The high guard.
Are you there, Adam? You fell off again, brother. So, yeah, Bam Rodriguez is the Orlando Canizales with power.
I think he's probably better.
Oh, in terms of skill and angles and creative combination punching, yeah, it's hard to disagree with that.
It's hard to disagree with that because you just see him and he's the HD version of him.
Yep,
that's
the HD version. I love that. That's beautiful. But let's go back to this. Khalid says this. Thoughts on Brian Norman Jr. turning down $1.5 million to fight Boots? Look, we already told you that this was going to happen, guys, on this channel. That this was going to be a real problem. When you receive $3 million to fight David Avanesian, how much do you think he's going to expect to fight in a unification against Brian Norman Jr. or Imantas Staniones or Mario Barrios? How much do you think he's going to expect then? If he's receiving $3 million to fight David Avanesian, Terrence Crawford's leftovers, a non-title holder, a non-ticket seller, how much do you think Boots Ennis is demanding for this fight? I guarantee you it's not just $3 million. Oh, well, ESPN, Top Rank, they've got the money. No, dude, it doesn't work like that. Now, once again, so realistically, you can tell that Boots Ennis and his handlers are demanding almost at the very least $5 million.
Wow.
Can you say Boo Boo Andrade, Devin Haney all over again?
Yeah, I can say that. I mean,
and this is the problem with paying out inflated purses, guys. And Shakur Stevenson is going to experience the same damn thing. Eddie Hearn, when are you going to learn your damn lesson? I know you want to attract talent by paying exorbitant amounts to these fighters that far exceed their realistic market value with other people's money. Turkey Al-Sheikh, DAZN, you're paying him with their money. What's going to be the end result? If you're paying him millions for soft touches, how much do you think he's going to demand for a real challenge? Now, keep in mind, Shakur Stevenson is going to be making $5 million rock on Riyadh season in the co-main event of Dmitry Bivol, Arthur Beterbiev for Joe Cordina, a guy who got knocked out at 130 pounds in his last fight. How much do you think he's going to demand when suggested with the proposition of William Zepeda?
I mean, he's gonna want the moon. He's gonna want the moon, and the chances of him getting it, and arguably, well, I mean, Zepeda isn't a world champion yet, correct?
William Zepeda has never won a world title.
Yeah,
No.
so he's not a world champion. I mean, so Zepeda's not going to be asking for that much money compared to what Shakur is going to be asking. So, I mean, he might get a little something, but because it would probably be next to impossible if Zepeda is a world champion and he demands money the same amount of money also, like a 50-50 fight or a
Well,
60-40.
look. He's going to run into the same problem that Boots Ennis is currently running into right now. Okay, so once again, he's going to say, "Oh wait, William Zepeda, he is pricing himself out by demanding more than $1.5 million."
Mm-hmm.
Is that realistic?
No.
While you're think about this: if you're getting paid now, once again, just all of you guys in the chat. Take this relatively. Think about this relatively. If you're getting paid $5 million rock to fight a stiff like Joe Cordina, who's not a big ticket seller in the UK, right?
Yeah.
How much is he going to expect? Right? $5 million rock. How much is he going to expect for fighting
Zepeda?
William Zepeda? Eddie Hearn is putting DAZN as well as Turkey Al-Sheikh in a position to where they can't make money any longer. Or they're putting the world of boxing in a position where it's going to be virtually impossible to put Shakur Stevenson in the best fights possible. Think about this now. That was just William Zepeda. Mm-hmm. How much is he going to expect when faced with a potential matchup against Gervonta Davis?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that either Shakur and his team and Eddie already talked to Turkey and they already negotiated prices.
Did they negotiate anything with Gervonta Davis?
They haven't done anything with Gervonta Davis.
Exactly. But now that's the problem. Now, Gervonta Davis, the overwhelming A side, is looking at Shakur Stevenson, already a negotiated purse of $10 million. How much do you think he's going to demand? Exactly. So this makes, and I've been stating this, guys, as long as I've had a channel, that inflated purses never ends well for the health of the sport.
Yes.
All the while, combine that with all of the illegal streaming, how are networks and benefactors expected to make any money off of any of these deals?
Yeah, I get that.
That's a problem. And I've been telling you guys this. This is going to prove to be the demise of boxing in America. Why do you think I consistently remain at the club level?
Yeah, because it's the only pure form, almost.
Dude, it's guaranteed. Look, we were in the black, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Black Adam.
Yeah,
okay.
Massive.
We were in the black, Adam, before we ever even opened the doors.
Really? You guys sold that many?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. That was like Rick. Rick has knocked it out of the ballpark. I think those last two cards. Um,
So, dude, the last three cards and
the social spot was awesome.
yep, the
No
last
fights
two
at
at the
all.
social spot. Yep.
And
And
this,
look, and who's he surrounded with?
uh,
Who's he working with at this time?
I mean, Robert, he's
Me and
working.
Robert. Yep.
Yeah, Robert.
Look, guys who have been in this business and who know this business, like, and look, I'll be honest, I love Robert, but I chewed his ass. I'm like, dude, promotions 101, protect your ticket sellers. Do you think the kid from Uvalde is going to want to work with us again
Uh,
after this experience?
I'm telling you, it's his fault. It's his fault. And you know
Okay,
what? You could
keep
see the
saying that.
softness in him.
Keep saying that.
You could see the softness in the Uvalde guy. I like people from.
So
You could see the softness that he has never experienced rough sparring.
that's right. That's right. So
You
if
could
you can,
see that.
so if you can see the softness, and Adam, you're a pro, you've got those eyes. You've been in this knee deep, brother. And so if you can see this, I can see this, Robert can see this. Why the fuck would you stick him in with Brandon Gutierrez?
He's got an even record. I mean, he's very you would never you don't really when you look at Brandon, I love him. I mean, he's one of Chato's guys. I sparred him before. You see an MMA guy and you go, I could beat him. I could beat him.
But he's got skills.
He's a warrior. That thing is,
Yep.
he loves to fight. That's the
Yep.
thing with Brandon, and they
Yep.
underestimated that. That Brandon is in some rough sparrings, and Brandon does not care. Brandon go, I'll spar the best guy. I don't care, and he gets better. When I look at Paul Hernandez, I see him and I go, yeah, that guy doesn't really get good sparring. That guy, he spars against like tumbleweeds and fucking cows and Uvalde. Like he he, he doesn't get the good sparring. You don't see that from him. He's very soft, very inexperienced. He
Yep.
was befuddled when each time Brandon would turn him around.
Yep. He would. And once again, it's that lack of understanding. Hey, brother, if you've got that front foot, right? If you've got that front foot positioning, you need to eliminate all of those escape routes.
Yeah,
Did he even know?
didn't know. He was
No,
clueless.
completely befuddled. So once again, in his second pro fight, and he's your biggest ticket seller as a 4-rounder, he's your main event. Why would you put him through that? Promotions 101, guys. Protect your ticket sellers.
Yeah.
So what is the likelihood of the gentleman from Uvalde? And I already know the answer to this. What is the likelihood of him working with us, South Park Boxing and AAA Promotions ever again?
I mean, what other fucking options does he have?
TMB, Robert Garcia, pound for pound. You got a lot of options in South Texas.
You have a lot of options in South Texas, but why limit yourself? We already know that you basically okay. I'm gonna protect you this whole fucking time, but then there's gonna be a point where I mean,
No. It's not just protection. It's not just protection, right?
yeah.
It's in our best interest. So how many ticket sellers, how many ticket purchasers hung around until after midnight to see him fight?
A lot. It was packed.
Yep.
It was packed.
And now that's gone. As a promoter, now that's gone, brother.
I don't think it's gone because Uvalde doesn't have anything. They only have football. They have football and they're not even that decent at that. So I mean, you're gonna want to watch the fighter, the guy. Plus it's a reason for them to go into town. I mean, they love to go to San Antonio. They go to San Antonio during fucking school's about to start. Guess what? Let's go to San Antonio, make the day of it. Let's
Look,
go shop for.
I would say that. I would
I'm
say,
telling you,
yes, you're
I'm
right.
telling
If
it.
we were the only promoter in town.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I'm telling you, if they're gonna get fights, they're gonna want to be on the best cards. Rick's right now putting on the best cards. TMB is putting on good cards. Robert Garcia's putting
Dude,
on
that's
good
a great
big
card
cards.
coming up next month. Yep.
I mean,
That's a great card.
right now,
That's a
San
great card
Antonio
coming up next
boxing.
month.
Right
Yep.
now, we're in a renaissance for San Antonio boxing.
Yep.
This is probably one of the best eras of professional boxing that I've been in, especially the local. You have so
Yep.
many guys,
Yep.
and so many.
Indeed.
Most of them are all undefeated. I didn't like the judging. I didn't like the judging on these cards.
Oh my gosh. Or the referee.
Yes, the little fucking
How many
referee
times?
was a
Oh my gosh,
motherfucker.
Anthony. Oh, and you know what? That pains me to say this because Anthony Dos Santos is a very good friend of mine. I love Anthony. He's a great guy. But there's a reason why he's at the club level. And he will never get any higher than this. Because how do you call a 2-point infraction at the 4-round level twice? Like, think about this. If you're in a 4-round fight and you get a 2-point deduction for an intentional infraction, and that's up to the discretion of the referee in charge, what are your chances of winning that fight without a knockout?
Slim to none. Slim to none.
Yep.
Probably 90% chance of losing that.
Yep. So once again, guys like guys like Gordo, Juan Guajardo Jr., huge ticket seller, big knockout puncher, and you put him in a style that's going to make him look like an amateur. I understood what Robert was thinking. Hey, he's the harder puncher. He's the aggressive-minded fighter. He's going to get the benefit of the judges' scorecards. That wasn't the case. And why? Because he got taken to school. He got taken to school. And so this non-entity, this non-ticket seller, non-attraction from Mexico, right? Manuel Lerma, who you'll never see again in San Antonio, gets the victory. What's a result of that?
It's not good.
You know, screw South Park Boxing. Screw AAA promotions. I'm gonna be on cards with TMB or Robert Garcia, Texas Boxers and Brawlers. I'm gonna be on pound for pound cards from now on. Dude, we just lost over this fight card, which was a great fight card, very competitive. But at the end of the day, we just lost 3 big ticket sellers because we got their asses beat at the 4-round stage. I'll tell you what, though, that co-main event, the kid from the Valley versus Isaac Bermea. Dude, that was a great fight.
Fuck. I haven't. I don't know who's putting on the videos of the fights, but KSAT, you can't watch the replay of that on KSAT.
No.
And I hate that. You couldn't watch it right after the fights. I got home and I was like, let me start rewatching this.
Now I've tried to watch a replay of that, but and look, guys, my voice is still hoarse. Like when I was doing the show with Thomas Driver last night, yesterday.
Great show too.
Thank you, my friend. I tell you what, dude, Thomas is an amazing dude, man. And and he's my brother, man. I love Thomas. Double T.
Yep.
But my voice is still hoarse from Saturday night. Like honestly, I'm not gonna go into that. And that's a technical side of that stuff. But I was screaming for 6 rounds straight or 6 hours straight. And so my voice is still really hoarse. Because of technical mishaps. We didn't even have a monitor to call the action. And how far away were we from the ring?
Far.
Yeah, we were right there next to the fighters as you guys were coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, let's get back to the mainstream topics at hand. Alberto, welcome to the show, sir. Salute Joe and Montequilla. Joe, are there any videos on YouTube of you commentating the fight? Yes, plenty. I will post them on the description portion as soon as this show's over. After yesterday's show, I would really like to see you doing what you do best. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that, brother. I'll put on our last one at Social Spot with me calling the action with Montequilla, because Montequilla is he's a serious dude when it comes to boxing, but he is one of the funniest. Close your ears, Adam. I'm gonna
Yeah, I can't believe any
I'm
of the stuff you're saying.
yeah. But look, Montequilla is one of the funniest gentlemen I've ever known. Naturally, like he is a laugh a minute. Outside of boxing, this guy is hilarious. He is comedy. In fact, I've often told him that, especially when he has some social lubricant like Miller Lite in him.
Yep.
And especially when we're singing karaoke.
That's so bad.
Oh,
That,
Chigo. No, that was great. Dude, that was awesome, man. Dude, you actually got me to sing Billy Joel on that night. That was about a month ago, wasn't it?
yeah, dude. Fucking. That was a month ago, dude. That was one of the funnest. That was fun as hell because we were up till 3 a.m. just fucking going
Yeah, dude, that
off.
was
And we had
awesome, man. I
active
loved it.
listeners. We had tons of people listening. It stood up till 3 a.m. because I mean,
Well, that was because of your singing voice, not mine.
thank you, thank you.
You're awesome, Adam. Love you, brother. And Alberto says, Joe, you never finished your Selena story from a couple weeks ago. Maybe tonight's the night. Would you guys like to hear my Selena Quintanilla story?
Dude,
Since
we know the
Yolanda
ending of it.
Saldivar is on getting ready to be paroled.
What?
Would you like me to talk about the can you believe it's been 30 years?
That's crazy.
Yep.
I wonder where she's gonna go.
Well,
You
I
can't
know
go
where
to
she's going.
Corpus.
Well, look, I know where she's going after this life. Are you talking about right now? Dude,
Yo,
you already know, brother. I'm walking in spirit, Holmes.
yeah.
All glory and honor to our Lord and Savior,
Amen.
Jesus Christ. Amen. But look, we're not going to go into that right now. But oh gosh, and I'm fighting it tooth and nail, guys, because I've a lot to talk about there. But I've designated to doing that on my channel. And I'm going to start my first live next week on my new channel.
Nice.
Okay. And so, guys, if you look right here, sub to the new channel, and the address is right there on the ticker, right? So here's my Selena Quintanilla story. I was oh boy, I have to give you guys a background, right? So I had I was signed to a band called Dorian Gray, and we were signed by Capital EMI, and we were out on the road, and all of a sudden we noticed the crowds were getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And this was 1991, right? And I was like, wait, what the hell's going on? And so we were called back off the road by Capital EMI because they were the ones funding our tour. And we were on tour with a band called Rock's Gang. Great band out of the East or the West Coast. And we were both hair bands. And in 1991, that stopped being a thing, almost seemingly overnight, right? And so I'm like, what's going on? Why were we called off the road? Talking to our A&R guy from Capital EMI, Tony, great guy. And he goes, this is why. And he put in a VHS. That's how long ago this was, right? VHS. And he put in a VHS and he showed us Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. And I'm like, what about this? This is shit. This is garage music. And he goes, dude, this is the hottest shit on Billboard right now. And I'm like, you've got to be joking. These guys can't play their instruments. They can't write songs. They can't sing. They can't do anything. And he's like, well, it's a, put it this way. Your album costs 3 times more than theirs did to produce. And I said, so that's what it's about. It's a more cost-effective product. And that's why you guys are promoting this. And he's like, no, it's like, look, the listeners, the fans, just like in boxing, are the real bosses. And they determine what's going to catch fire and what's not. And unfortunately, this has caught fire. And I'm like, oh, shit. So what's going to happen to us? Well, can you write stuff like this? Can you sing stuff like this? And I'm like, what? You want me to look like shit? You want me to cut off all my hair with a pocket knife? You want me to forget how to write songs? Do you want me to forget how to sing? Is that what you want me to do? And he's like, Joseph, I'm trying to help you here, man. Otherwise, we're going to have to drop you. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. And I was just a stupid kid, right? I'm like, screw this, man. No, I'm not going to reduce myself to this. I'm never going to reduce myself to this and play stuff like this. And 5 years later, what happens? I'm in a cover band playing Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains. And so as soon as we get cut in 1991, I start working for a bar backing and then bartending. And then one night, and this was at the Reflex. Do you remember the Reflex? No, you were too little, weren't you,
Yes.
Adam?
No, I have no idea what the Reflex is.
Okay, so it's right there on Fredericksburg and 410.
Okay, I know the area.
Okay, yeah, it eventually turned into a Kinko's back in the day, and now that's a funk too. But this was a nightclub, and there was a kettle. Do you remember the kettle back in the day, or is that too old for you two?
It's too old. I don't know the kettle.
Chingallo, dude, I'm a teaser, man. So anyway, so that tells you how old Selena would be right now if she were still alive. Yeah, she'd be in her 50s, well into her 50s.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm eating at the kettle. They had a cheeseburger special with fries and a drink for only $3.99 at the time. And I used to eat that every day before I went into work. And I'm there eating in a booth by myself. And all of a sudden, this short-haired Latina just takes it upon herself to sit in my booth and saying, hey, I see your shirt. You're an employee there, right? And I said, yeah, I'm a bartender there. Oh, well, I'm playing there tonight. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's Selena y los Dinos, right? Yeah, I'm Selena. And I'm like, look, I wish I could tell you that did it for me, but I'm a rocker. I'm in fact, I'm a musician, so I don't even listen to the Tejano. But that's what's happening right now. So you know what? That pays the bills. That's what I'm gonna do. And so we're sitting there talking, and she's talking a mile a minute. And she is all giddy. And she's got that look in her eye. Like she likes me. And she has me. And you know, Adam, you know that look, brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, look, I do have to finish up my meal. I'm gonna walk over into the Reflex, and I'll see you play. I'm looking forward to it. And she's like, look, I live in Corpus. I'm in San Antonio a lot though, because we play a lot here. So would you like to exchange numbers? And I'm like, well, look, and this is before the age of cell phones, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I pass her my number on a napkin.
Nice.
Right. And she gives me her number on a napkin. And I'm like, she's not my type. One, puro Mexicano, brother. I am Hispanic, and I've grown up around Hispanic women. So they just don't do it for me. So Selena, as beautiful as everyone thought she was, and felt that she was and believed that she was. And she was. She just wasn't my type. Look,
Yeah.
look, truth be known, like my wife and the mother of my son is Hitler's wet dream. She's blonde with blue eyes. She looks like a more voluptuous Gwyneth Paltrow. That's what my ex-wife looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I always had a fascination and an appetite for blondes. And so Selena just didn't do it for me. But when I saw her playing on stage, when she was wearing that bustier
Yeah.
with tight black pants, I'm like, wow, she's got something, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And it's funny, after the event, she came up to me and she gave me a hug and she said she was going to call me.
Nice.
And she called me, but we could never get our schedules coordinated, right?
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, I read in the papers that she gets married to her guitar player, who's got long hair, a big,
Oh yeah,
big moon pie face,
the motherfucker looked just like you
and
guys.
dude, Chris Pettis, and he looks almost exactly like me,
Yeah, she
right?
had a type.
She had a type. I
Had a
was
type.
Selena's type, even though I wasn't hers.
Yeah.
And that's my Selena story, where she was hitting all over me that night, and I was like, just you know what? I wish I could say that did it for me, but no, it just didn't.
And you know what probably also worked is that you were kind of put off by it. And I'm a big believer of disinterested. When you're disinterested, you become more interested. And that's probably another thing. You were like, I'm gonna dismiss this pussy.
Yeah, dude, because
She was just
dude, she was blowing up my phone for about a month.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you know what? And my sister would end. So keep in mind, this was the day. This was at the time. And I moved back in with my parents at the time out of necessity because I started going back to college. And my sister would pick up the phone and she would just hang up. And I never got any of those phone calls or any of those messages. And, you know, to be honest, even if I had, I wouldn't have been interested because I wasn't. Because she's just not my type.
Yeah.
But then come to realize that she is Selena Quintanilla.
Superstar.
I'm like, oh shit. And I look back decades later and I'm like, oh shit. I really fucked up then, didn't I? And I will say this. If I had been interested in her, and if I had been in a relationship with her, she would have never died. And I will take that to my grave. Because here's where she passed away. And I've thought about this in great length. Because the night that she died, Chris Pettis, being the big fat fucking pussy that he is, he let her go into that Days Inn by herself. Now, Adam, if you knew that someone was unhinged, that her father couldn't stand, would you have allowed her to go into that hotel by herself?
No, I would. I've never actually watched the movie. I've seen parts of it, but like, if somebody's fucking ripping you off, I'm not gonna deal with it personally. I'm gonna have my fucking dad, or I'm gonna have some muscle or a manager.
Yep.
Fucking go handle this for me. Fucking go tell that motherfucker to give my money back.
Look, you would have gone in by yourself because you're a fighter and you can whoop some ass.
Yeah.
Dude, I would have done the same thing. I would have like, no way. No way. And look, first of all, I don't want you meeting this psychotic succubus.
Yeah.
Succubus.
Yes. That's a perfect word.
Look, I would have never even driven her to the Days Inn.
Yeah.
And let alone let her go in by herself. Chris Pettis, what a big fat pussy.
Yeah, what a fucking
And look, if
shit.
I had been with Selena at the time, dude, could you imagine me, someone as headstrong and as outspoken as I am, allowing my girl to go into that hotel room while I waited in the car like a bitch.
Yeah. I would not I would want to know what is being said. Like why is it
Exactly.
yeah, like I want to be
Hey
like
man, if like I know how you feel about Babe Lopez.
yeah.
And like you would protect her because that's your job.
Yeah, she's not
And so
like
I'm
she's
telling
not
you guys right
ordinary.
now, had I been the slightest bit interested in Selena Quintanilla, she would still be alive and well. And I will take that to my grave. There it is. There's my Selena Quintanilla story. How do you like that?
It's good. Let's talk about Brian Norman because Khalid is blowing up the chat about Brian Norman. He wants our opinions. And
Let's go
I'm
back to boxing, guys.
yeah.
So, Alberto, there it is. There's my Selena Quintanilla story. And there it is. There it is. How do you like it? Yeah. And
Oh
look,
my god, dude.
And
You
look,
fucking
Double L has the beat. Joseph, you were completely right. What the F is going on? Yes, sir. And we've stated this over the past 2.5, 3 years on this channel that this was going to be the demise of boxing in the American market. Paying out inflated purses. And once again, this is not me. This is not my knowledge. This is knowledge on loan from the great Don Chargett, who taught me everything I know about this business. Now, look at this. Double L also points this out. Thank you for joining us, Double L. We love you, man. He said, Boots had 7 potential fights falling out since summer. 2 with Crowley, 1 with Barrios, 1 rejected offer by Stañones, and I wonder why. 3 rejected offers by Norman Jr., some of the worst luck I've ever heard. And if you think that's luck, I've got some oceanfront property to sell you in San Antonio. Dude, this is all because of Eddie Hearn. Once again, guys, if you pay someone $3 million to fight David Avanesian, how much do you think that fighter is going to expect and demand for fighting another champion? A guy who let his balls hang in the center of the ring in his last fight. A guy like Brian Norman Jr., who has vulnerabilities, and you can see that in his last fight.
yes.
But, boy, he's going to be there to fight. He's going to show up to fight. He's going to give you the toughest fight of your career. And that's a guarantee. So what are you going to demand for that if you made $3 million in your last fight for a guy who quit?
Oh, you asked me?
Dude, I'm asking.
Okay. I thought you were doing a long dramatic pause. I was like, oh, okay. All right, what's the next word he's gonna say? I mean,
Well,
obviously
you know what? To your defense, I do that a lot. So
yeah,
thank you, brother.
a long dramatic pause. I was like, I was on the cliffhanger. I was waiting for. I was like,
look, and me being the journalist, and me being the orator, and I believe in dramatic pauses.
yeah,
So
you're
that's
radio.
that. Hey, sweet bitch on you, brother. So I'm asking you though, Adam.
Okay.
And we're waiting.
Oh fuck!
And
I
we're
thought
waiting.
you were still doing another long fucking dramatic pause. These pauses, these pauses are killing me. I mean,
No,
obviously,
dude, I'm not talking about Selena anymore, brother. I'm talking about boxing.
I mean, obviously, he's gonna want a fucking ton of money. I mean, he's gonna want a ton of money. He's gonna fight another. He's potentially gonna fight another champion. He could unify with Brian Norman, so he's gonna want a lot of money. But Brian Norman, I guess, declined the 1.5 mil.
So let's go to the other side of the equation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Double brings this up. He went from making 190 grand
Yes.
in his last verse against Santillan
Yes.
to declining 1.5 million. Now, once again, it works both ways. So this is why paying out inflated purses never ends well for the health of the sport, because all we want to see as fans are these fights materialize.
Yeah, I mean,
And everyone now wants to be Floyd Mayweather Jr. without having to go through that process. What is going on, Adam?
I don't know,
So
man.
once again, you're talking about guys making just at the most $10,000, $12,000 from ticket sales,
Yeah.
right? And a club show. And then now turning down $1.5 million.
Yeah, I mean, I know Brian's manager really well, Adrian Clark.
Yep, I know his trainer as well. Adrian
Yeah.
Clark's a good guy.
Adrian Clark's fucking his family, man. I mean,
Yep.
I have no idea what the what does he say? The method behind the madness behind the method, or whatever the fuck the saying goes. But I mean, turning out 1.5 million from just me, I'd be like, oh yeah, we're taking that fight, dude. We're taking 1.5 million. I don't know if they see potential more money there, but then at the same time, it's like 1.5 million for a first title defense is insane.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, and
fucking
that's yeah, dude, and that's like by far his biggest payday. But let me tell you what the end result's gonna be, right? This fight's gonna take place. Both men are gonna agree to terms, and
yeah.
this fight's gonna take place, but it's gonna be on pay-per-view out of necessity. Now, who the fuck does that help?
Nobody.
Exactly. Doesn't help the sport, doesn't help the fighters, doesn't help the fans.
I hate pay-per-view model. I think it's a thing of the past. I think closed circuit needs to come back, and I think free boxing needs to come back. I miss HBO. I miss HBO so much.
You know, and Rick
HBO
and
is
I were
what
just
we
talking
need.
about this today. Right?
HBO is dearly needed. We miss it so much.
Yep. And look, and everyone who was this is how you know what YouTube channels to avoid.
Yeah.
The ones who are thinking that it was a good idea for Showtime to be run out of the business of boxing.
No, that's sad.
Avoid them like the plague, because that's been the worst thing that's happened to boxing in the American market.
Yeah, the subscription model isn't working at all. It's just
Nope.
It's not. And you know what? I kind of feel like cable might come back. Cable might
It
come
very
back.
well may. It very well may, Adam.
People are
That's
saying
very insightful.
cable is dead, and it's getting to a point where you're spending almost the same amount. You're spending almost $200 on subscriptions
On all of these apps.
and
Yep.
you don't even use them. You don't even use them all. And there's too much technology right now to where it's hurting just life in general. And it's just, I miss the days of when I turn the fights going on this week. Saturday is a huge fight. Put on HBO. Fucking, but the boxing after dark fucking theme comes on. Dun 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 dun. That hyped me up so much. The guy's shadow boxing in a fucking alley, and boxing after dark, world championship boxing. And that's what we need again. Those are fucking great fights. Jim Lampley needs to come back, and in this subscription model, DAZN, you pay commercial for AutoZone. Like, what are we doing? Why am I paying all this money? I pay you $5 a month. You take $5 a month out of my fucking bank account, and guess what? I gotta pay another fucking $80 for this pay-per-view. Why am I getting the subscription? Why am I subscribed to that? And I feel like the subscription model came off of Box Nation in the UK, where they had a specific channel just for boxing. And it's kind of like that.
I got something for you, Adam.
Give it to
I got
me.
something for you, brother. And look, dude, this is greatness, right? This is greatness. And this is going to make a lot of guys, a lot of long-standing boxing aficionados, pretty much everyone in our chat, to shed a tear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm gonna play this right now.
Play it.
Are you ready? Are you
Yeah.
ready? All right, here it goes. All right, here it goes.
Play
ready?
it. I think I know what
Boom.
it is already. There we go. I knew it.
Dude, I almost feel like crying right now.
It does. Yeah. At my funeral, this song has to be played.
Okay, now I'm gonna say
Fucking
this has been a
awesome.
presentation of H. So now I'm gonna say this has been a presentation of HBO Sports.
Yeah, and like, okay, they played that at the
my
beginning of the
God,
fight.
dude. You know what? Here's the generation gap. Okay, so I played this at an event when I was DJing,
Yeah,
and I played this at a weigh-in, and fighters were like, "Hey, dude, why are you playing this stuff?
yeah.
Why, dude? Can you play some hip hop?"
Like, fuck
And I'm
no.
like, "Dude, are you kidding me? This
This
is
is
the
your
ET.
anthem. This is your
This is
anthem.
your anthem, dude. This is your. Oh my gosh!" And dude, that's when I noticed that this is a different generation, a different breed of
Yeah.
fighters.
And
They
and
did.
that,
They grow up on the mother's milk that we did.
yeah, these are uncultured swine that we're dealing with now. Like, like you don't I can't be mad at you because you weren't born, you're not born in the glory days of HBO boxing. I can't be mad at you for not being born then, but I can be mad at you for not delving into it and being like, do you ever see those fucking memes where they go like, it's like old grandpa and he has like a magazine of like something of like in the past, and then the little kid goes, "What's this?" And he goes, "All right, let me tell you something, you little faggot. I'm gonna tell you about HBO box." And he had a little tear on his eye. That's what I like. That's what I get. I'm gonna tell you something, you little pussy. Back then in the 90s, 90, late 90s, early 2000s, the heyday of HBO. I'm gonna tell you about HBO. Like,
Oh shit, dude, that is great. And you know what?
yeah,
I almost feel like Archie Bunker in
yeah,
All in the Family saying, "When girls were girls and men were men." You
yeah.
know, I almost feel like that.
Yeah,
Dude,
like
dude, seriously, like it was shocking. I played that and I'm like, dude, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna play this while everyone steps on the scale at a weigh-in.
mm,
And I had teams coming up to, dude, can you play some hip hop? Can you play some Tupac?
no,
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
yeah,
Are
yeah.
you kidding me? Oh, Chingao, dude.
We
Yeah,
we
that really pissed me off.
we
That really
literally
pissed me off.
we literally had it all, and we let it get
Yep.
away from us.
Yep. Yep.
Like, we
Guys,
had it
now
all.
think about this, guys. And I brought this up during the segment. On regular subscriber showtime, we saw unification at 168 between Jeff Lacey, undefeated,
Joe Calzaghe,
against Joe Calzaghe, undefeated. That was on regular subscriber showtime.
Ricky Hatton versus Costa Zoo in the UK. That was the showbox.
Regular subscriber showtime.
Yeah, you
And
know what?
then we saw also Calzaghe Kessler in
Diego.
front of 50,000 in Cardiff, Wales.
Yeah,
Regular subscriber
Diego
HBO.
Corrales versus Jose Luis Castillo. Regular showtime.
Subscriber showtime, and that was unification at 35.
Gotti Ward, regular subscribed HBO.
Yep. Dude, I was there. Dude, I sound like Jesse the Body Ventura now. Look, I was there. You cannot tell me any different. Look, I was there at the Atlantic City Boardwalk
Boardwalk
Hall.
Hall.
I
Yep.
was covering that event for Fight News. Dude, honestly, what has happened? And now we're getting Shakur Stevenson versus Joe Cordina on pay-per-view? You can't rationalize this with hardcore fans. And this is part of the problem. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, and I rarely am, but correct me if I'm wrong, brother. Boxing diehards are the only fight fans in existence in the American market that have been expected to foot the bill for every major event
Yeah.
since they were born.
Yes. You
Okay,
still get
so
good.
now that they have the ability to stream this illegally online in HD, you mean to tell me they're not going to do it? In their minds, this is why we're having this problem, guys. So in their minds, they're rationalizing this, saying, you know what? I paid for every fucking event, including the top-ranked Latin Fury events on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And so now I have the opportunity to stream this shit for free.
We're gonna do it. Yeah.
And I'm not going to do it?
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem.
You'll
And
spend
then
$1,000 in pay-per-views. Easy.
Yep, and then couple that with fighters demanding inflated purses. So I'm asking you now, how does boxing win in the American market? I'll wait. Yeah.
Yeah, now we got to find a whole new fucking platform. We got to find a whole new thing. Speaking of Gotti Ward and speaking of the fight purses, we are just talking about that. Is that Gotti Ward 2? I think was the first fight, it wasn't one the first one, but it was a 10 rounder. But
Yep.
it made huge news because they gave both guys $1 million. And that
Yep.
was
Guaranteed.
considered
That was guaranteed.
and that was
Yep.
considered huge for a 10 round fight because of how great the first fight was.
Okay.
So they go
do you want
1 million.
so here's something that's going to put everything in perspective, right? How
Mhm.
much did Robert the Ghost Guerrero, who I just talked to this past Saturday
Yeah.
in San Antonio, right?
Yes.
How much did he get paid before taxes for fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. on pay-per-view? How much was he guaranteed?
I don't know. I'm guessing maybe 3, 2.
Nope. 3. Yeah, you're right. $3 million. Okay.
How many? $3 million.
$3 million. Now, how much did Boots Ennis get to fight David Avanesian? Guaranteed.
What, 5?
$3 million.
3 million.
So that's what's wrong, Adam. You get a guy like Robert the Ghost fighting the best fighter on the planet and the biggest pay-per-view draw on the planet. $3 million guaranteed.
Mhm.
And that's the amount that Boots Ennis is getting
Yeah.
for fighting David Avanesian on DAZN?
A 40-year-old guy almost.
Yeah. That's what's wrong. And I once again, guys, I've warned you guys that this is going to be the demise of boxing in the American market.
Yeah. It's kind of sad.
And that's it. And that's it. W.A.W has a beat. But if people think that just Sheik is going to save U.S. boxing, they are wrong. The Sheik will do a few events a year, but ultimately it's the responsibility of the American promoters and the fighters. That's fucking right.
That's true.
Look. And I will say this. If you think the Sheik gives two shits about the American market a year from now, Yeah. So all you have to know, what's the undercard look like on this Beterbiev Beeble? I know we've got Shakur Stevenson, right, on the card fighting Joe Cordina. What else appeals to the American market on the undercard?
Oh, say the undercard again, because I have been out of the loop.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
Pull it
I'll
up.
pull it up, homie. Man, I'll pull it up, homie. Yeah. Okay. Let me just. Okay. Stevenson. Box rec. It's all geared towards the appetite of the UK fight fan.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought.
And why do you think that is?
Where's the fight going to be held at? Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Yep.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Fucking U.S. markets non-existent over there. UK.
It's dead. It's deader than dead.
Yeah.
It's deader than dead.
Yeah. UK. We're
making Dana White look like a fucking genius. Okay, so I'm going to announce this to you, right? Aside from Shakur Stevenson, Joe Cordina, we've got Jaio Bataya versus Jack Massey.
Don't care.
Fabio Wardley versus Frazier Clark. Chris
care.
Eubank Jr. versus Camille Zarameta.
Don't care.
Sky Nicholson versus Raven Chapman.
Don't
Benjamin Whitaker versus Liam Cameron.
Don't care.
Mohammed Falafel versus Jesus Gonzalez.
Don't care.
And we're supposed to get excited about that pay-per-view in America? No, because it's not designed
for us.
Us.
It's not for us. Yeah.
And you know what? I'll say this. This is what you get, guys. Because did you guys show up for Terrence Crawford, Israel Madrimov? What were the pay-per-view numbers? Now, Rick Glaser says, oh, it's 250,000. Bullshit. He's being nice. He's saying this because he has a working relationship with one of the attorneys for Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
He's got a good working relationship with Terrence and Bomac. That's why he's saying that. But in reality, what were the realistic numbers of Riyadh season in LA? 75 grand. That's it.
75,000 people?
75,000 purchases domestically. That's it.
That's sad.
Oh, Alberto says, wait a minute. Rick is compromised? Dude, why do you think I am happy working at the club and regional levels? Hey, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, Double L, hold on. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Let me pull this up. That was the wrong post. This was brilliant. Oh boy. Look at this. I watched James Toney versus Mike McCallum, the body snatcher, the other day. I haven't seen a fight in the U.S. even slightly coming close to that in the last 5 years. Not even Virgil Ortiz versus Sergey Boachuk. You're right. Good. Now think about this. Boxing After Dark in Connecticut. I was there, McMahon. So Vasily Zhurov versus James Toney.
I thought that was in Temecula.
Was it in Temecula? No, it was in Connecticut.
I think I went to that fight. I went to a Vasily Zhurov fight. Fucking, it wasn't James Toney.
No, it wasn't James Toney, and I was there also. That was when he got knocked the fuck out by Michael Moore in Temecula. I was there.
Vasily Zhurov?
Yep, Vasily Zhurov got knocked the fuck out by Michael Moore.
Pretty sure Vasily Zhurov
in Temecula, California.
Yeah. That was my first boxing event I ever went to.
Dude, you know what, man? I was there. And really? I can't believe, we didn't hook up. I was there. I was covering that fight for Fight News.
Yeah, well, I
because
was like,
Vasily Zhirov was at
I was like,
heavyweight competing against Michael Moore.
yeah, I was like 10.
Really?
Yeah, I
Well,
think I
no
was.
wonder we didn't hook up.
Yeah,
So you're aging me, my friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
But
that was
then
my
again,
first boxing event.
I had already aged myself with the Selena story. So I can't say anything.
Hmm.
Yeah. But look, guys, I think we've all learned a lot in this 2-hour episode of Real Talk with Rick Glaser. Yeah. Look, do you have a can popped open? Do you have a bottle popped open? Are you drinking at all, Adam?
Right now, I have one tall boy, but it's almost gone.
Okay. Okay. So you don't have any more in the reserve.
I have reserve stuff, but I just want to chill.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you got a busy day tomorrow and
I don't
Friday.
have a busy day. I don't have a busy day. I ran through my motherfucking route today. I fucking got done at 2, and then they were like, "Hey, can you go do this?" I was like, "Fuck, dude." Yeah.
Look, I will say this, guys. I will say this. Boxing is in a bad way in the American market. If we're hanging our hat on Canelo to save us in the mainstream and casual market, and he's fighting a guy like Edgar Berlanga.
Hamburger
Yeah, Hamburger Langa.
Langer.
And so is there any wonder? Is there any wonder why so many are putting their faith in Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson on November 15th?
I mean, it's Jake Paul's the only one that does deserve his money. I will say that. Jake Paul is everybody looks at him in the boxing world as a joke.
No,
He
he is
he's
the best promoter in
he's the best
boxing right now.
promoter on the planet. Like the best or not on the planet, but he's the best boxing promoter in the US market. For sure.
Indeed.
For
Indeed.
sure.
Indeed.
He's the best, and you
That's bar
cannot
none.
knock him for that. You cannot knock him for that. He is the
Yep.
best guy on the planet. He gets the sponsors. He gets the eyeballs. He pays the fighters well. I don't like him calling out professional guys and saying that he can beat them because he can't. And I think he knows that.
No.
But,
Look. He's been dogging Tommy Fury as
yeah,
of late. What does that tell you?
I mean,
He knows his role.
yeah,
He knows his role. And the reason why he's dogging Tommy Fury because he's a mainstream guy in another market.
hmm,
That's why. So
yeah.
I'm gonna raise my glass. Here's to you, my friend. God
Cheers,
bless you, brother.
man of genius.
Salud, Adam. And look, tomorrow, look in your email, look in your
Yep.
text. You've got 2 tickets. Tickets. Shit. 2 tickets the following week to Jazz, Texas for that
Nice.
favor you did for me 2 weeks ago.
No problem.
God bless you, my friend. Here's
What?
to you and Babe Lopez. Thank
Thank
you, brother. And I hope you guys have a blast.
I will.
And there it is. And there it is. And there it is. But look, oh shit, dude. And just speaking of that, man, yeah, you really did me a huge solid because I did not want to be the bearer of bad news to my little brother, who I will say this did a great job being
Phenomenal.
being the unofficial ringside scorer this past Saturday night.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah, dude, he called all of the upsets.
I hated the judging. I mean, a couple of the draw, like Bermeo getting the draw, the guy was pretty good. The guy that
Wait.
fought,
Oh, dude, you're talking about let me pull him up right now.
last Saturday, I'm fucking still excited about those fights.
Dude, that was awesome.
Fucking card.
Dude, it was a great card, but hey, if you lose 3 ticket sellers in the process, is it worth it?
It's a tough sport. You know, they're big on making the best matchups, the best fights. And
well, look. I'll say this. Hold on. What's up with these style? Look. We do not talk about guys who are only 5'2".
That's
Okay?
decent. Wow.
Yeah, he's a little midget who calls himself Dragon Style. Look, if you don't have the stones to go by your actual name on YouTube, that should tell you something, because you're talking to two guys now. I'm Joseph Heron. This is Adam Lopez. Okay? We don't put any kind of ring moniker. We don't put any kind of moniker in front of us, because we're real dudes who are in this business and who have been in this business. We're boxing lifers, right? A cocksucker who lives in a desolate town, who has to stand on his tippy toes to put his hat on. Yeah, I said it. So don't bring that guy up on this channel ever again. Hawker Mustang. Thank you. Dude, can you imagine having to stand on your tippy toes to put your hat on?
I don't even know who D-Style is.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. And I can say that with great confidence. He's a piece of shit who tries to make money off of this business, and he streams illegally every single event.
Oh.
Yeah. Piece of mierda, dude. Mierda. Okay, so there I said it. I got that out of the way. And that's going to be his only shine on this channel. And it's all negative. Piece of mierda. That guy's a piece of shit. Like, dude, when have you ever seen me, Adam, in an interview, like get stage fright or get like, I don't know, just not perform at a professional level?
Not be able
Have
to
you
talk
ever seen me do that?
now.
Yeah,
Very
no,
emotional.
never.
Why he turned
Never.
Kamala Harris?
This guy.
Laughing?
No. Oh, dude, Kamala Harris. Chingao.
Oh.
Kamala. The Ugandan giant. Headbutt Kamala. No. Oh, wait a minute. Our brother Lance Meyer says, D-Style's cool. Well, then go listen to D-Style, brother. And keep regurgitating that Canelo fanboy ignorance. Like, honestly, he is downright gay. Downright gay. And I'm going to say that right now.
Guy.
Huh?
Gotta see this guy. Everybody's talking about him now. You guys have got me.
Dude, he's a midget. Dude, he went to the only event that I can think of that he went to. And the only reason I know this is that people sent me links to his interview with Tim Tszyu. And he was a midget, right? And he acted like he was fumbling over his words, like he had never conducted an interview.
Really?
Ever. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Lance is saying, well, wait a minute. You're in Minnesota. How do you know Lance? How do you know?
I remember.
He's not gay. Once again, how do you know? Jose says he's cool. How do you know?
I got it now.
So once again, here's a final thing. He's a good guy. How do you fucking know?
I got it.
You don't.
We're
Look, I know enough in the background to where I know he's not a good guy. He's a piece of shit, and he's an opportunist. He's a fucking midget. He's a midget. He's an opportunist, and he doesn't know shit about boxing.
I gotta see this guy. I cannot judge this guy. I can't judge him yet. Only God can judge.
Well, dude,
but
you can't judge him because you've never seen him at a boxing event.
Well, I gotta see him. I gotta watch the video. I gotta do something. I gotta do my own independent research.
Hold on. You don't know him because he's never been at a fucking real boxing event.
I gotta see this. W.A.W says I don't think he's particularly a bad guy. Lance Myers.
No.
He's a cool
No,
dude.
he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit.
I gotta see.
No,
it.
he's a piece of shit. And I stand by that, guys. Once again, he's a fucking YouTube fraud. He's a used car salesman. He talks like he actually knows about boxing and has never worked a minute in this business. No. It's not. I don't have a beef on short people, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I don't, because look, dude, I'm from San Antonio. We are short and brown. That's a
Yes.
reality. But if you're a scumbag and if you have no scruples, yes, I'm going to point that out. Jose Chavez, he's actually pretty cool. Well, that explains a lot. That explains a lot, Jose. And yes, I said it.
All right.
Oh, shit. Hawker Mustang. He brings up, short people got no reason to live. You know the guy who made the Toy Story
Toy
song?
Story, yeah. He made
Yeah.
that song too, yeah.
He made shorts. Dude, how do you know that, Adam?
Yeah.
Dude, your dad raised you properly.
He
And I'll
did.
say that.
Yeah.
Dude, your dad did a great job. And I'll say that. So hold on. Look at this. Adam, you want to take care of my light work? Something's a scumbag. Okay.
I don't know, bro. I think
You don't want to get off on that tangent.
yeah.
Okay. He says, well, I don't know. I think D Style's pretty cool. Based on what? Based on what?
I gotta find out.
Based on it.
We got,
Dude, just look, you're a fighter.
we got some
You
guys.
know the reality of this. All you have to do is listen to the first minute of his diatribe, and you understand this guy doesn't know shit from Shinola.
You guys are making me want to just get off the chat real quick, go look at one video, and then come back and be like, oh yeah.
And you know what he does? And this is what a lot of idiots do. They will try to holler and scream to try and make their position more valid to guys who don't know any better. And that's what he does. That's why I say he's a scumbag. A fucking little midget who actually calls himself Dragon Style. That's what the D stands for. Dragon Style. Dude, honestly, he lives, from what I've been told, from a very reliable source who used to work with him. He lives in the biggest small town in America, El Paso. Adam, have you ever fought in El Paso?
This junior, Andy Lee undercard, Sun Bowl.
Yep, I was there. I was with Emmanuel at the time. I was doing PR work for Emmanuel. Dude, how small was that ring that night?
Very small.
It's like a shoebox, wasn't it?
Yes. And fucking the sun, dude. Oh my god. I had one of the first fights, and dude, the sun was just so you're elevated, so you're close to the sun, plus you can only get on one side of the ring because you got the sun in your face blinding you, and so it was just bad.
Emmanuel was heartbroken because as soon as he flew in and got into the Sun Bowl, right? Sun Devil Stadium, right? And oh my gosh, he saw the size of that ring and he started pitching a fit to do Dickie Cole. What do you think Dickie Cole said?
Dickie Cole? What did he say?
Yep.
He probably said, I don't give a fuck.
He said, look, this is Chavez Jr. That's who the ticket seller is.
The
That's
crazy
who
thing about it
that's
is
who the title holder is. And if you don't like it, I can't do a damn thing about it.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it though is fucking a couple months before I fought on the Chavez, my pro debut on Chavez undercard, And that ring was
Oh, that was
huge.
versus what was his name from
Marco
Mexico?
Antonio Rubio.
Marco Antonio Rubio and Nonito was on that card, right?
Yes, and that ring
Yep.
was fucking huge.
That was huge. It was a 20 by 20, no, 22.
22.
22 by 22 ring.
It was
So
a
when you
huge
go to
fucking-
El Paso, that was the smallest championship ring I've ever seen. In fact, if you go back and look at Andy Lee versus Chavez Jr., you'll see Michael Buffer trying to do the ring announcements, and you'll see everyone around him because they had nowhere to go. It was 15 by 15. It was a fucking shoebox.
It was that small?
Yep, 15 by 15. That's why Emmanuel pitches to fit. And I was doing PR work for Andy and Emmanuel at the time because I was there.
Mhm.
And I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. And Andy, dude, for the first 5-6 rounds, he was doing a great job of outboxing him. And in a 20 by 20 ring, a normal championship ring, he would have become the WBC champion.
Yeah.
But what happened because it was 15 by 15? He had nowhere to go. And Chavez knocked his ass out. A juiced up Chavez, right? Under Freddie Roach. And you know Emmanuel Stewart used to call Wildcard Jim back in the day? With Alex, whatever his name is. Do you remember that, Adam? I can't hear you, brother.
Okay, Cabra, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, dude, Alex Ariz was fucking crazy, bro. Like, I heard rumors when we at the top, I think my pro debut, fucking, that on the Marco Antonio Rubio and fucking Chavez, fucking that same night, that fight happened, fucking Jim Lampley got fucked up in the bathroom. We got fucking so drunk that he fucking slipped and
Wait
hit
a
his
minute.
head.
Wait. Repeat that one more time, please.
I heard the ambulance came at like fucking 1 o'clock in the morning because fucking, I guess Jim Lampley got so fucked up that he slipped and fell in the bathroom.
Yep.
And I went down to the lobby.
That's not a rumor. That's not a rumor, brother.
That's not a rumor, yeah.
Nope.
And I
Dude,
went down to the
there,
lobby,
bro.
and he was fucking. The ambulance was there, and then I also heard. I think in the fucking that same fucking night or during that stay that Alex Ariza fucking went off on a maid.
Look. I was so pissed off that night, right?
Mm-hmm.
In El Paso, because I knew that the fix was in, right?
Yeah.
I knew. And so I was so pissed off, I got into a fight that night and I got thrown in jail in El Paso. Yep.
Nice.
Dude, I was at a Wiener Schnitzel.
Nice.
Do you remember the Wiener Schnitzel right there across the street from the hotel?
No, I went to this fucking, I don't remember. It was at the fucking the Rio something hotel. It was a nice, very nice hotel. There was a bar across the street and had a fucking tremendous steak sandwich, and I ate there. Yeah,
Dude, I should have stayed there, but I walked down the street.
Oh, that's why. Yeah,
no. I walked down the street to the Wiener Schnitzel because I wanted to get away from everyone singing "Viva Mexico," right? And I'm like, "Fuck me, dude! This is some shady bullshit." And so I'm ordering 2 chili dogs from Wiener Schnitzel, and some dude with a fucking Chavez headband gets in my face. I guess who recognized me from the event. And yeah, I punched him in the face and knocked his fucking ass out. His girlfriend called the police, and I had to stay overnight in the Hooskow. Yeah, true story.
Should have dipped out, dude.
No, well, tomato.
Should have skedaddled.
But look, that's what I'm saying. So where was Dragon Style on that night? Where was Dragon Style on that night, guys? If he's such a good guy and such a knowledgeable boxing guy, Where was he on that night? In his mother's basement. He could kiss my fucking ass. Fuck that guy,
You're
man.
still talking about D-Style.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, that was in his hometown. He's
Yeah.
from El Paso. And that's what I'm saying. The biggest event that El Paso has ever seen. And look, I used to do PR work for David El Nino Rodriguez. You remember David, right?
David Rodriguez.
Yeah, El Nino. Dude, I used to do PR work for him from El Paso. Never once saw Dragon Style at one of his events. And that's from his hometown. Maybe at that time, his mom wouldn't let him out of her basement. Maybe. So once again, this guy's a fucking fraud. And he's a piece of shit. And once again, all the shit that he's been talking about specific colleagues that I trust and that I work with today. Look, I'm trying to tell you that he's a worthless piece of shit. And you don't know him. You don't know him. And once again, there's a reason why you don't. Once again, Adam, if you're in this business, why aren't you at any events?
Who, D-Style?
Anybody.
Oh.
If you're in this business, why aren't you at any events? If you've got a channel on YouTube and you're making money off the sweat and hard work and dedication of these fighters, why aren't you at any events?
Very true.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
this
you gotta
guy,
go.
This guy has never worked a day in his fucking life at any of these events. And why? Because, Adam, if you come to any one of our events, if you don't know shit, even as a member of the media, you're going to be reminded very quickly that you don't know shit if you don't know shit. Correct me if I'm wrong, sir.
I don't know. I'm reading all these comments. I gotta see D-Style now. I got to. Like, everybody.
Go ahead, brother. Once again, this is a guy who has to stand on his tippy toes to put his hat on.
Let me see. Hang on. All right, hang on. I'll watch it later. I'll watch it at night when I'm about to
Yeah, just watch it later, dude. Once again, you're not.
I'm not missing.
Because you're a real guy. You're a former fighter and a prolific trainer now, and a guy who's in this business, and you know the real. Like, let me ask you, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Within the first minute of conversation, you can pick out who's in this business and who isn't in this business. Correct?
Oh, I could probably tell by what people put, like, the importance of some more important than the other. Then I could be like, all right, yeah, that guy doesn't really know anything. He's fucking.
Yeah.
He's
and you know what's funny is put it this way, if he ever tried to, this fucking minuscule piece of shit, if he ever tried to interview someone like Bob Arum would turn his back and start walking away.
Or Mike Copenager or whatever. He fucking bobber.
Mike Coppinger, shut up, you fucking prick. And that's a guy on ESPN. So imagine if this fucking Dragon Style prick tried to actually interview Bob Arum. Imagine how that would go.
Yeah.
You don't know shit, you fucking prick. Look, dude, and this is why I'm bringing this up, right? W.A.W has to beat Joe torching these YouTube grifters like a piece of filet mignon on a Sunday grill. Yes, and because they fucking deserve it. And why? Because they're making money monetizing their channels and not spending a fucking dime illegally streaming every event. That's why. That's the real reason, and I know this for a fact. Because I know guys
Is
who
that your
know
main
this
gripe?
little shit.
Is that your main gripe with him? Is that he just does that, or is it he's unprofessional,
No,
or
it's
is it a
he decides.
combination?
No. It's a combination of things.
Okay.
First of all, if you're on YouTube proclaiming to be an expert,
Yeah.
you better have worked at least 5 minutes in this business. Because if you don't, dude, you need to shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And yes,
I
I'm getting a little ornery now. I'm
yeah.
getting a little ornery, brother. How do you
Oh,
like that?
yeah. I
Because
kind
I'm
of like.
never ornery. I'm
I like.
never ornery.
I like some of the guys. Some of the. one of the guys that I do like to watch, and he's funny to me is Boxing Ego. He's pretty good. I like that his honest opinion about things. But the funniest thing about him is that he constantly brags on himself for being the best. He goes, "Yeah, you know it. I'm just the fucking best in this business," and that he constantly says it.
Wait
He
a
just
minute.
says,
In this
"I'm the
business,
best, guys. I'm the best."
what has he done in this business? Once
You
again,
mean-
I have much more respect for guys who try to get involved, like Blue Blood. Hey man, I'm Blue Blood Blackson. No, like guys like Showbiz, the Bug-Eyed Fool, right? The
Yeah,
morning after. It's like, dude, what have you done? What have you done? What have you done?
yeah.
Have you ever done, dude? There are so many YouTubers who think they're above the sport, and that's the problem. That's a thorn in my side. They try to act like they are an authority, like they actually know, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is based on what?
Yeah.
Were you
Double L.
in this shit? Were
Double,
you in this shit?
double L. Double L. You're talking about Thomas Hauser, the author?
Yes, of
That's what you're talking
course.
about? Yeah, Thomas
Boxing
Hauser,
Scribe, the author. Yeah.
the author. Yeah.
He's retired. He's retired, dude. Okay. So thank you, Jesus, for bringing up the NFL because I've
Thank
been
you.
watching the NFL for over 40 years. Does that make me an expert? No. And I don't proclaim to be an expert. Dude, I would never think of putting up a channel on the NFL because I'm
Yeah.
not an expert. I'm a fan. I'm compromised. I'm a Cowboys fan, right?
Yes.
I'm not an expert. And watching the NFL for 40 years doesn't make me an expert. Right?
Sure. Yes.
Okay? So why the fuck would you think you're an expert because you've been watching boxing for 30 years?
Yeah, that is
Adam?
true.
Adam, why would you think you're an expert? Watching boxing, being a fanboy for 30 years. And once again, listen to him speak on Canelo. He might as well just grease his Johnson right there on the air.
Yeah, see.
No,
See.
dude, trust me, within a minute, you'll be
Oh,
able to
no?
sniff out a fraud
Yeah.
because that's what he is. He's a fucking fraud.
Speaking about the NFL, does anybody in the chat play fantasy or no?
Dude, wait. Dude,
Anybody in the
are
chat?
you still gonna complain about Vito Senior's fantasy league?
No, I have a very good team in that league, but I'm gonna fuck those New York kids up. It's gonna be sad. I'm gonna fuck those. I'm gonna fuck those. I'm gonna fuck those mooks up.
Dude, are you
But
saying that you're gonna ride the Dak Prescott freight train until the wheels
no,
come off? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not. I'm not saying that. I mean, he's the best option that we have right now. Um,
Wait. Oh, hold on, dude. Hold on. Lance Meyer says, and from St. Paul, Minnesota. Thank you for sticking with us, brother. He says, hey, now you're hating on Little Blue. Blue Bloods. Are you talking about that? Oh, he's from New York. Oh,
Blue
dude, I'm shaking in my fucking
Bro,
boots
Blue
because he's
Bloods,
from New York.
Blue
Holy
Bloods is just
shit.
straight up race baiting at this point, bro.
Dude,
Like it's
honestly,
so bad. It's so fucking bad that
look,
anything you
anyone,
cannot take
look,
anything he says seriously.
look, anyone who was on that Glovegate diatribe with Tyson Fury
Bro,
is a straight up piece of shit.
that's the
Is a
dumbest game.
straight up fraud.
It's so
Hold
stupid.
on. Oh, wow. New York. Better keep calm, Joe. You know what? Fuck those pieces of shit. You know what? Go fuck yourself. You know, honestly, anyone from New York can kiss my fucking ass. When it comes to boxing, how many events, Adam, are in New York these days?
Not a lot. Do you know why? The taxes, bro. No one wants to fucking pay those.
Hey, you can thank fucking Nancy Pelosi for that shit. You can thank all these fucking liberal cocksuckers for that shit. You know, I don't have that problem. Like, and dude, here's the best part. And right, this is what I'm gonna leave you with because I'm about to jump off, right?
Okay.
Because it's almost midnight.
Yeah.
And we need to pick up where we left off, where I'm not compromised with social lubricant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you just got on D Styles for like 30 minutes.
Dude, here's why. And I'm gonna say this. Because how dare you guys bring that piece of shit up into my chat? Like, really? How dare you guys? How dare you bring that minuscule piece of shit, diminutive piece of shit into my chat?
You know what this is gonna start, right?
Well, these sounds good, guys. Well, dude,
Joseph, you
you
know
guys
what
don't
this is
know.
gonna start, right? This is gonna
Huh?
be. You know what this is gonna start, right? You know this chat is diabolical. They're gonna, you know what they're gonna constantly do to you? They're gonna constantly bring up low level YouTubers and be like, you know what, this guy's pretty good, and they just gonna want to see you get riled up, and you're gonna be like, fuck no, he fucking
You know what, dude?
balls.
You know what, man? Bring it. I'm gonna start getting my Al Pacino voice. Look, and while you're jumping from one foot to the next, yeah, dude, I'm gonna start doing that shit. Bring it. All I can say is bring it, motherfuckers. Bring it. Where's G Style? Where is he? Where is that midget piece of shit?
Ring IQ is pretty gay. I don't like Ring IQ.
That guy is a fan.
Yeah.
Pom-pom waving piece of shit.
Pretty gay. I saw the interview with you and him when he's like he didn't even listen to anything what you were saying at all. He was like, you were bringing up the differences in the more competitive fights, and you were saying Vegas odds makers say that the zone matchups are fucking way closer to 50-50 fights, and he didn't get what you were saying. He was like, that's odds makers, like the odds makers. He's like, you're not fucking understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, dude,
I'm just saying.
And so when he said that,
I
was like,
spazzed out.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that says everything. That says everything. Because once again, the odds makers, yeah, you know, I don't even want to go into that, man. But you know what? That said it all.
Yeah.
And since that time, I have never even thought twice about that diminutive piece of shit. That guy who lives in a Staten Island duplex. Right?
Yeah.
Look, I own my own house. I own 3 businesses. How's he doing? He has to depend on super chats. I don't do this for money. I do this for you guys. D style, dragon style, fucking midget piece of shit. Right? He does this for his living. That ring low IQ. He does this for money.
Yeah.
Me, I do this for you guys. So you guys understand the reality. Look, I made more in my last event this past Saturday than he will make in the next 2 months. That's the reality. That's the reality. Okay? So, Adam, is there anything you'd like to leave to our listening audience?
A listening audience. I don't know. I think that Brian Norman, I think personally, should have taken that 1.5 million, but AC's
Yeah, you
got,
should have.
AC's got something up his sleeve. I think D Styles is the future of YouTube boxing. I I think
Woo!
I think D Styles arguably could do HBO commentary.
Hey, you know what? You know what, man? I tell you this, Adam. Give him a special invitation for any topic that pertains to boxing.
But yeah, we
Give him
need a
a
debate.
special invitation, okay, to come on this channel and have him defend himself dragon style. Yeah, have him do that. Have him do that. That little diminutive sack of shit. Yeah, have him do that. And I'll tell you what, he will actually, if he's humble, he'll learn a lot about the business of boxing. Because right now, he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. And once again, what determines what most fans, what channels they gravitate towards? Oh, well, I agree with most of what this guy says. So
Yeah, I'm very against argumentative. I'm very against arguing about
well,
boxing.
look, dude, I have no
But
problem butting heads with anybody.
I'm
As you know this, Adam.
yeah, I don't like arguing in boxing, but I do like different sides being pointed out and where you can see both sides of the story, because there is both sides to one argument when it comes to a fighter. There's the argument of what's best for the sport, and then there's the argument of what's best for the fighter, and those are two completely different things. And I enjoy listening to that and seeing both sides of it, and if one side outweighs the other, then what's right is right. But it's not so everything in boxing is gray. It's not so black and white.
So Alberto has the beat here, right? Joe gets frustrated that you have guys like Ring IQ, Ring Low IQ, that make a YouTube channel and want to tell people like Joe, who are actually putting in the legwork to get this work going and growing. Look, he wouldn't know, he wouldn't have any clue. Like, once again, it's almost self-explanatory, right? But unfortunately, I have to go on this diatribe every once in a while because these guys are worthless sacks of mierda. Can I say that any more clearly, sir? What do you think, Adam? Can I say that any more clearly?
No, that's pretty good. I mean, that's if that's what your pet peeve is, and that's what fucking
No, that is my pet peeve.
yeah,
Guys making money off of the sport,
without
right?
getting involved.
Without ever working a day in this business. Now ask Ring IQ or Dragon Style if they've ever even been to a fucking gym. If
Yeah,
they've ever made a match in this business. If they've ever contacted a network and gotten a fighter on that platform. Have they ever done commentary for a show? Have they ever done ring announcing for a show? Have they ever even worked in a fighter's camp? Okay, if not, then they need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's my point. Okay, that's why I get frustrated, because these guys are making money off of the sweat of all of these fighters, and they have no idea. And not only that, they don't purchase any pay-per-view events. They stream all of this shit illegally.
Mm-hmm.
I know this for a fact. So with that said, with enough social lubricant within me, Adam, last
Yep.
shot, brother. Here you go. Cheers up, man.
Cheers.
Here's to you guys. Here's to you guys. Thank you for joining us on this evening for almost 3 hours. God bless all of you guys. And here's to you, Adam.
Real
And
man.
dude, I can't believe this show went off the rails like that.
TBS,
But-
dude, D Styles just fucking got in your head. That's the thing. Rent free, bro. You gotta
Well,
brush
you know
off.
what? Anyone who
TBS,
has
what
to stand, look, anyone who has to stand on their tippy toes to put their hat on. Yes,
Yeah.
I take great exception to that. And look, I'll, dude, and I'm proud to say this.
Mhm.
Yes, that night that you were there in El Paso,
Yeah.
for Andy Lee Chavez Jr. Yeah, I spent the night in the Who's Gal because I whooped some dude's ass who got in my face at the Wiener Schnitzel, and there you are.
Pretzel dogs.
And that's it. So God bless all of you guys. Here's to my brother Adam Lopez. And dude, we have a lot to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. Fucking.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
I was fucking off yesterday. Fucking, I ran through my route today. Fucking, would have been nice to fucking get a lunch show in. I would say.
Well, I tell you what, I hope you and Babe Lopez have a good time next week at Jazz, Texas.
I will. Yeah.
It's my pleasure, my friend. And once again, thank you for doing that favor for me. I love you, brother. God bless you, Adam.
Later, guys.
And here's to all of you guys. And you know what? Let's do a special matinee show tomorrow, Friday.
right.
Friday? Is
Let's
that
do
good
it.
for you, Adam?
Yeah, you just gotta fucking hit me up. That's it.
And there it is. And there it is. We'll do the show on Adam's route. And there it is. God bless you guys. And on behalf of the great Adam Lopez, I'm little old Joseph Aaron, who've never worked a day in this business. Yeah, Joseph Aaron. Yeah. Thank you for listening to Warwick Boxing. God bless all of you guys. Have a great evening, everybody.
Brothers.
I wanna get out of here. Let's hop in the Camry, let's see something different. I might as well disappear. 'Cause time means nothing. It's podcasts and playlists, our friends are the best, so it's time to overshare. We're on the road to New Mexico.
Rod Vashan Holden presents the living embodiment of the American spirit.